Hello, everybody. It is a big day in the 40K. For TECHMARINE, PTS is coming at the end of January. It is time. Yes, I'm here. I am excited. Just, it's just the info about TECHMARINE. FTG didn't get early access. It pulls off some wild surprise. No. We're talking about the release date. It's in the title, guys. I said their SABER gives a TECHMARINE early access release date. Just read the title, please, before people get confused. They gave it's coming out in January. Yeah, guys. The thumbnail says news, and the title says exactly what it is. Hold on. Wait, are you the TECHMARINE? No. I'm staying away from the PTS so I can be surprised. Good luck. You have to turn off your entire internet, probably. The date for the release is announced. Yeah, so the PTS is coming in January. And the chapter DLC heads are also coming with patch 12.0. I think at this point, we can pretty much guarantee that patch 12.0 is coming out next month. Yeah, the voices are coming. Ultra Guardsman added again. True. I lost my YouTube membership. I can easily be reobtained, Red Orchard. Alright, guys, we're going to play some hard strats. Get in here. It's like we never lost him. Hold on. SABER, TECHMARINE, SABER announces, just so people aren't confused, early access release date. Early access PTS release date. There we go. What it do, big dog? What's up, Betero? So, did you guys see? I posted the short, the thing they posted up. Did you guys hear the voices? What do you think about that? Also, what's up, Donut? I have to say hey to myself. Sometimes I can still hear him. What are we talking about? Oh, hey, FTG. What's up, Chador? What's up, Froggy? What's up, Guinea Pig? What's up, Cheeky Monkey? What's up, Just Unknown? What's up, Lil Judius? But when's next month, FTG? Watch them drop it like the end of 11.0. Okay, so we should probably expect the PTS release date. Oh, shit. John Doe, thank you for the $5 super chat. Thanks for putting out the new block/slash fencing vid. No problem, John Doe. I'll have a lot more guides like that coming out for like everything in this game. Be a busy month. Always is. As a space wolf, I'm happy. Hello, brother. What's up, Deathbait TV? What's up? They're fire, but just like the $8 skins, they should be free. They should be free. Yeah, you know, a lot of players don't like the fact that I said that those should probably be free, but what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? If that's the biggest controversy in this game, I see this game is pretty fucking good. Alright, this all sucks. Based on zero evidence, I feel like the Black Angel, the Blood Angels champ is what I imagine what you look like, except you have brown hair. I do have brown hair, but it's very, very dark brown. Hello everyone, what's up, Wombat Combat? I swear it's like the February 28th FTG. I mean, that's pretty... I think that's a pretty normal thing for it to be, don't you? Like, it's gonna be... February. Yeah, we have a whole Melee guide out now, if you guys want to take a look at that. Oh boy, guys, get hyped. We're probably gonna get it next week. Just join for the big news. Yeah, guys, TECHMARINE is coming out for the PTS at the end of January. And probably even sooner than that in a lot of cases. Or I should say, even sooner you might think, because the community update is coming out on the 29th of January, which means the last time we had a PTS, the community update came out after the PTS was out. So, we're see it. Welcome, brother Oh, hello, Mortifactus. I hope they add more brutal executions and extremis bosses. Me too, man. You and me both. I will be streaming Naturally, guys, we're going to be streaming for potentially 24 hours when the TECHMARINE comes out. We're going to showcase all the cosmetics, all the new stuff, every weapon, every single thing about the TECHMARINE can possibly gleam. And then, of course, when Space Marine 2's TECHMARINE officially launches, thank you for the Prime sub, Jack Sparrow, we will be streaming that as well. Yo, how is this as a solo player? Possible to do some cool stuff or not so recommended? Solo in this game is super doable. It's really not as bad as it might seem. You do have to definitely put in the practice to like really lock in for it, but it is definitely doable. You will be capable of such a thing.
We might request additional armaments for that Trigon.
Hold on, let me make sure my game audio is proper.
Trigon target acquisition vectors are unknown.
Can you stay awake for 24 hours? Oh yeah.
Stay together.
I mean, we had a 22-hour stream on patch 10, so of course, I'll do multiple. I'll die if need be. I will die for it. But yeah, if you're a solo player, Space Marine 2 is a great game. I'll also probably, during TECHMARINE launch, I'll do some giveaways and give some people some copies of the game. Probably doing that. They'll probably be on sale, so I'll probably give away a few copies or something. I mean, I did that in patch 10. Some guy said he wanted the game, and I was like, of course. Yeah, 24-hour stream is easy. 36 hours, that's hard. The longest I've ever been awake in my life was 72 hours. Also, FTG, shout out for the First Legion. Yeah, I know we got some succulent Dark Angels Rift, don't we? I will be making a Power Sword guide later this week as well. I want to get to all the melee weapons before the TECHMARINE drops, among a lot of other guides, but we'll try. Expect something along the lines of the melee weapon guide I put out for like everything in this game at some point. A lot of people have asked for them for a very long time. Weren't we coping for barely after Valentine's? I mean, yeah, they said before the PTS was not coming, or was very unlikely to come in January because the entire team was off, but apparently that's not the case. They locked in. For the Lion. Yes, Eduardo, for the Lion, the First Legion. Yeah, a little fun fact about the Dark Angels, guys. The Dark Angels got real pissy when Horus came back first, because for the longest time, they were like the coolest Legion ever. And then suddenly, the Sons of Horus got their Primarch. Thanks for check out some of your videos and get to it. Definitely should, Brain Man. Well, I got a fresh batch of servitors to push patch 12, probably. Which means we're probably going to see the launch of it in, like, February 25th, I imagine. Late February. And that's totally in line with the update. Now, if for those of you who watched the video I posted today, what do you think about the Elite TECHMARINE perks? Because I think a lot of the perks look pretty cool. I think the most interesting portion is going to be the servo gun.
Here comes the Trigon.
What is better, the fencing or the blocking sword? They're both very good. I will make a guide on this as well, but I do have a guide for all the melee weapons. So if you're curious what they all do, I can give you an idea, but overall block is the best in this game right now. They look good for the most part. They do look a lot more interesting than the other options. And we don't even know what the Prestige perks are yet, but I imagine the Prestige perks will have some kind of ammo regen on top of FTG, do you think the Iron Warrior thing Games Workshop tease is per Turbo or nah? I don't think it's per Turbo. I don't think it's Peter Turbo. I thought it was initially, but it's in an armor he shouldn't be wearing. So it's probably gonna be like one of the other Iron Warriors. After more than a year of grinding Space Marine 2, I tried Darktide for the first time, and holy shit, the build expression is so much better there, and the replayability. Oh yes, it definitely is. And if you want to see somebody who makes great Darktide content, you can check out Mr. E on YouTube. He's on my channel sometimes as well. We made a collab about that game the other day. We also play Minecraft together sometimes. Yeah, Mr. E makes great Darktide content. Puts in a lot of work. Hey, FTG, what's the TECHMARINE taste like? Probably tastes like, you know, if you ever put a penny in your mouth If you're from America, it probably tastes like that. TechMarine perks sound good. Melee range hybrid class could be the best. It depends how good the Sentry guns are, but like Sentry guns can be crazy. Absolutely crazy. Does everyone have access to the early access? It is only on PC. The public test server is only available on PC. But it will be available in January. Okay. End of January. I don't like Darktide a lot. I mean, you know, it is a more niche game. It definitely is. It's definitely harder to get into. I think if you're a player that loves like high skill cap gameplay and like you're not just here for like a cool looking game, Darktide is better for that. The build variety is better. The enemies aren't super interesting in it, depending. Are they putting the past champion art pieces to use at launch? What do you mean? Hey FTG, how does the PTS work? The public test server will be available on the PC version of the game. As long as you have the game on Steam, you will have access to the public test server for free. It is a separate game download with a server they open up occasionally. If you do not have the game on PC, you can't get the public test server. I'm not sure if it's outside of Steam. I imagine it's on all variants of the game. I have the game on Steam, and I imagine like 80% of Space Marine 2's player base on computer has it there as well. But that is where you'd find it. The progression on Darktide is way too complicated for you, and hey man, like that's why a lot of people, that's part of the reason Space Marine 2 is a more popular game, is because it is simply put easier to understand than Darktide is, on top of this being a better property. In terms of like Space Marines are a much more popular property than the Darktide stuff. Do you know how long the PTS will last? We don't have an exact date for how long the PTS will last, but if we take into account how long prior PTS servers, especially the patch 11.1 lasted, it'll probably be about a week. Because before, they made a PTS that lasted for like multiple weeks at one point, many moons ago, and that was just a big mistake from them to do. So, they've definitely learned from that. What's up, Beach Have? Like, what if TechMarine has a low CHP recovery like Assault was? Well, Assault's... Well, we already know TechMarine's gonna have primaries, so that's already unlikely to happen. Even if the melee weapons aren't that good, he'll have ranged weapon options, and he also has a plasma pistol. So his CHP recovery is gonna be fine. Oh, he's dead. Okay. Space Marine 2 is for Dad, Darktide is for Sweats. That's the best way to put it, Fridge. New player looking for Keybind advice. I will be making a guide on this as well, and like some new player stuff. But if I had to say what is the most important thing as a new player, I would probably take off I would change the zoom in button to like mouse 4, because this is normally on like the middle mouse click. That feels awful. It's a very bad feeling. So I'm talking about being able to use all the past champion cosmetics on the TechMarine at launch. I believe he'll have access to anything that is Mark X Tacticus related, because I'm pretty sure we're not getting a Gravis TechMarine. There are Primarchs Gravis TechMarines. I think they're gonna, just based on the armor that they've shown already, it does look like he has Mark X. So I would imagine that's what they'll have. The chapter heads are neat. They are pretty cool. What are your camera settings? I play on a 1.25 FOV. I think that's a little less important because it's really more of like a personal preference, but as far as like actual key bindings, the only one I'd say you really want to change is the zoom and aim key, because that's the one that really feels shitty. Did you keep melee on right click? Yes, I do. Everything else is vanilla for me.
Sterilize these
Everything
monsters
else.
of Xenos.
Thanks so much. No problem, dude. No problem at all. I mean, I'm looking forward to TECHMARINE more than anything. I've been waiting for, like, I think new classes just fundamentally improve a game like this. I think horde shooters really benefit from build variety. And in the case of Space Marine 2, I think Space Marine 2 has a very good enemy variety already. Like, we could have more, but, like, the enemies, they feel fun to fight, so what I want from the game is more things to fight the enemies with. I think that's, like, the best part of Space Marine 2 to me. Okay, let's grab this. Hey, FTG, what's up, Glacier? Hello, FTG, what's up, Josh? How you doing? I wonder what the new Terminus will be in patch 13. That's probably the one I'm looking forward to the most after. I hope it's like a Forge Fiend or something. Do you think TECHMARINE will be a must-have on a team kind of like Bulwark is? Based on his perk tree, no. But he looks like he's going to be pretty good. I mean, every single class in this game performs pretty well in the operations mode. So, the only place it really starts to get very sweaty is siege mode, and even then, it's only sweaty if we're trying to push ridiculously high waves, which most of the player base simply is not. So I say, like, for the purposes of the general player base, everything's in a pretty good spot. By the blood of Sanguinius, brother. Yes, we will be getting a, Nemogen is wearing the basic ass outfit for the sniper. That's funny. I actually thought he looked level 1. Oh, well shot, brother. Well shot. Power of the bolt sniper right here. Look at that. Do you think they'll ever make the operation maps bigger? Oh, the existing operations? No, I don't think they're ever going to touch those. I think SABER... First of all, I don't think there is a historical precedence for that at all. And I also just don't think it's something SABER would be interested in doing, even if there was no historical preference for it. Precedent. Great. The $2 super chat. Love the heads. Space Wolves were always diverse. I don't really mind. I don't mind the heads at all. I've seen some pretty dumb complaints. This is in the chat for complaints about there being like a different Space Wolf head than like what you wanted, but there are definitely forums for that for people who are interested in complaining about something regarding that. Just not here. It would be nice if Space Marine 3 had customization to the level you choose between Firstborn / Primarchs Marines. A small but angry assault with a large-ass hammer would be nice. Unfortunately, SABER said there will never be Firstborn cosmetics in this game, like really Firstborn anything in Space Marine 2. But I'm sure a lot of players would be very interested in that. I was not complaining. I'm not you specifically. I just know, like, I've had people come in before, Gray. Sorry if that sounds directed at you. What's the current best class to play for a beginner? I would probably say Vanguard. I think Vanguard has the most automated gameplay loop with his easier builds. And then after that, I would say it's Bulwark. And then probably Heavy. Probably Heavy. Oh yeah. Let's say, I don't know if it's a controversial opinion, but all the melee weapons should be available on every class. Probably not Heavy. Heavy doesn't really use every melee weapon in the game. But I definitely think Power Sword and Power Axe should go on there. I made a joke about how the Black Templar head looks racist. Somebody flipped out on me. It's been pretty bad. It's been a pretty, like, I mean, leave it at the 40k and have the dumbest controversies ever, but what are you gonna do? Imagine Heavy with a hammer. You can do that in the Astartes Overhaul, I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'll show that someday. Do you think we'll get an Iron Father as a champion for TECHMARINE? An Iron Father. That's actually a great idea, Cheeky. I wouldn't mind an Iron Hands cosmetic for them. I think a lot of people are expecting the champion pack will be for TECHMARINE. I mean, TECHMARINE will be a free update, so, you know. TECHMARINE will be the only class in the game that won't have a champion pack, so it getting the first champion pack that comes out after it launches makes a lot of sense. Since every other class already has one. Even Heavy has one with the launch one. He has the worst one, though, in my opinion. Is the Iron Hand champion going to be tactical? No, it's most likely to be TECHMARINE. We don't know for sure, but I would say like it's almost guaranteed to be TECHMARINE. Hey FTG, can you make SABER implement Grey Knights? Yes, I will. I definitely have that much pull of the company. No, I can't do that. Dude, I can't even get SABER to make like an extra perk, bro. You think I can get the entire chapter, an entire like librarian chapter add to Space Marine 2? I wish, dude. Alright, let's kill this guy. Oh, yes. We can't even get an FOV slider on console. I think that's more so an issue with the, with just the performance of the game. What's up, Chad FTG? What's up, Charles? Welcome back, Charles. An OG. I ran into a Heavy level 25 with no team perk. I think, like, this game, like, listen, guys, a lot of the issues in Space Marine 2, I think, are, like, genuinely just a horrific tutorial problem where the game doesn't teach you shit. You're a newer player. Have they said the heads will be class locked or not yet? They have actually stated this, Glacier. They said the heads will be available on all classes. On one hand, it sucked to have more restrictions, but also 3 minutes of the same voice would be annoying. They said they will not be restricted to classes. I'm like 90% sure they said that. I read the comment somewhere at some point. You should make a tutorial style vid. I will be. Like, imagine a lot more. Remember the one I made yesterday? I'll be making all those kinds of guides. It's a long overdue on my channel anyways, so people ask for them. I have to ask me for them for a very long time, so I will be making a bunch of updated guides for you guys. Those do take quite a while to make, so don't expect them at like a really reasonable pace, but I'll probably have at least 70% of them up in the next month. Yes, check out the pin com. Actually, let's see. Is confirmed for end of January. We'll pin that. Are the heads included with my season pass? I've been out of the loop. Unfortunately, no, Gray. They are not included with the season pass. It's a pretty big point of controversy. Personally, like, I think it is a little greedy of SABER, but I don't care as much as a lot of the community does. We made a video on it, but, you know, I always take the side of the consumer in these things. If an entire player base says, or the majority of the player base says they want these things for free, burning community goodwill is just stupid.
Ready to deploy. Waste nothing, brothers.
FTG, list 3 weapons for the heroic versions in past 12.0 you'd want to see. That's an easy one, Judius. I would like to see a power axe, _1, like a frost axe or something like that. I would also love to see a heroic last fusel variant, and I would love to see a heroic plasma incinerator variant. I think that'd be a great one to have. Glad to pay for them. Yeah, I think if it gets us more content, I think that is good. Jeff and I made a mildly controversial video about that. You know, if people disagree and think we're stupid for saying that, that's totally fine. That, like, we don't want them on there, but it's not exactly an unpopular opinion. And I think SABER's a pretty good company overall. And it's really more of a lot of their issues come more so from where they put their resources around, like, the talent they actually have as a company for things. And maybe in their port design was pretty bad. Omnisaya Master says, when is the PTS, guys? Yeah, Osborne, can you put in the pinned comment that the PTS is coming at the end of January? Thank you very much, if you would do that. FTG equal to SABER sponsor, dude. Yeah, definitely a SABER sponsor. Because I've never, ever said anything negative about SABER my entire life on this channel. You know, one day I got called a shill. You know, the funny part is, there's no content creator program for Space Marine 2. It's like, we're literally all the same community, but if you say anything, this is how it goes. I want a Heroic Melter Rifle or Pyre Blaster. Ooh, Heroic Melter Rifle would be cool. What would you want for a perk effect? Good idea. I didn't even think about that for a second. Rest in peace, Donut. Oh, wait. That was already blown up one. That's awkward. One Melter Rifle. Power Sword on tack would rustle my jimmies in a good way. Oh my god. Oh, the lag. Oh. That's been happening ever since this patch came out. Now, this, I don't know, a lot of you guys have probably noticed there was a bug in the Space Marine 2 currently, where when you are playing on Space Marine 2, there just randomly comes a point in time where your game will just freeze. Like, it will just randomly freeze. There's not anything you can do about it. Especially when you alt-tab. Like, if you're playing by yourself, you'll just get random freezes on the alt-tab whenever you leave the window. That is a confirmed bug that will be fixed next patch. You should also expect that the Heroic Heavy Bolt Pistol will be fixed as well next patch, because currently that perk effect is broken. I'm pretty sure SABER said they're aware of that. So the random freezes aren't just me. No, it's been happening ever since last update. Not just you at all. Yes, it happens to you in Siege a lot, yeah. Well, Siege in general is a pretty buggy mode, but... Alright, let's just body this guy, shall we?
Trigon kill confirmed.
It cooked. That bug killed me yesterday. Well, we killed it just for you. Oh, wait, no, I think you mean the other bug. Wait, the PTS date is announced? Yes, sir. Feed me nuggets. It is coming out the end of January. They announced that today on the official SABER forum. I made a whole video about it if you're curious. Or you can check the pinned comment. Trigon's such a bum. He really is. He is absolute fodder when it comes to the pistol, or the fencing weapon here. Get hyped, boys. All right. Used to get a random freeze that would force you to quit the game. That sucks. Still my favorite op. Geez, that was disgusting. Yeah, this boss is kind of fodder sometimes. All right, let's get some assault power sword gameplay, shall we? Let's do that. A little bit of assault gameplay. I like to play Reclamation. I think that'd be fun. And then we're gonna help some people with the weekly as well, for those of you who would like that. And then we shall continue on into further and greater things. Wait, let's swap me to this. Okay, there we go. Any predictions about the full release of patch 12? I think it'll be around mid-February, almost at the end of the month. I think there is like a 0% chance that they release the TECHMARINE officially before, like, at least with like in less than a month between the end of the PTS. They've never done that in history, because if we look at, I'll just pull this up real quick. If we look at the historical stuff they've done on Space Marine 2, they have never, ever launched that shit before within a month, ever. Let's see. Yeah, so the 25th is when Reclamation came out, and the official public test server for it came out like a month before that. a little over. It came out, when did the PTS launch? Yeah, the public test server launched on October 24th, 2025, and the official launch for Space Marine 2's patch 11.0 came out on the 25th, and patch 11 is almost guaranteed to be a smaller patch than patch 12 is. So keep that in mind, guys. Was TECHMARINE always in the works, or was it a last-minute thing? It was always in the works. It was always in the works. New classes were always planned for this game. There was an interview they did before the game even came out. They would be making not just one, they said classes plural. Let me see if I actually pull that up real quick. This is a quote from an old interview. Where is it? I'll find it for you guys. 1 second. And whoever wants to join for like some hard stratagems or the weekly, come on in. Yeah, here it is. So they said this eons ago that, do you have any classes planned to add Space Marine 2 post-launch? And they said, yes, we have plans for it. There will be new stuff for everything. So they were always planning on adding new classes. Now, this sounds like plural, so I imagine once a year we'll probably get a new class, because some people are saying this game's going to be dead after the new update. That is just baloney, guys. That is just absolute nonsense. Squad Unity. Oh my god, this one. I don't want to fucking bother with that one. Let's do some Reclamation. I know it's already do hard strats, but we're going to do a Reclamation because I feel like it. Is the game worth the time and money for someone semi-casual? Oh, this game is great for casual players. It's absolutely worth the money. It's also on sale an awful lot. Let me check if it's on sale right now. Let me take a look. Yeah, it's on sale for like $23 right now. So, the standard edition has all the content you would need. You don't have to buy like the year 2 anniversary edition or anything like that. It's still on sale at the moment, so. What is the best melee weapon right now? That would be the Power Fist overall, but weapons like the Power Axe, the Power Gladius, there are a lot of options, but like overall, for just talking about like what is the fundamentally best class in Space, not class, weapon in Space Marine 2 currently, it is the Power Fist, just based on what it's done, and based on how it performs on the majority of content. Yeah, all is very tempting and goddamn expensive, Inquisitor. We're talking. I think they'll use Space Marine 2 as a test bed for some of the things for Space Marine 3 until it comes out. I definitely agree with that, Jones. That's a great point. I've said that many times, that I think Space Marine 2 was a surprise success, and now they're just using it as a test bed, like you said, for things they'll be adding later down the line. What was the enemy that Titus fights in secret level? We need that as a terminus enemy. Now, that is a type of demon. I forget what they call it. It's a demon, but what do they call it exactly? I'm pretty sure in the actual, like, because I remember I checked the IMDb page for that, or I checked something for it. It's just, I believe it's just registered in the files or the official listings as a Chaos Sorcerer of Zenith. It just has like a lot of demonic mutations. A Banshee? Yeah, I've seen that too. I'm pretty sure it resembles a Banshee, and they didn't say. But yeah, DLC doesn't transfer. That's true. I don't think the DLC will transfer to Space Marine 3 at all. I think that when Space Marine 3 comes out, it will be a less complete game than Space Marine 2 was, but I also think Space Marine 3 will be a bigger game overall at the end of its life cycle, and this game will be.
Progress towards the Ordnance Depot. We will rendezvous with you and combat squad Skeleton there. Remain vigilant. The Xenos infestation goes deep in this ship.
What class do you think will be coming out after TECHMARINE? Probably Chaplain, because that's what the developers have talked about previously. I would personally prefer a Librarian or something along those lines, but they want a Chaplain. The creative director was very clear he wants to have a Chaplain in the game, in an interview that Wellplayed did a while back. On the side, I'm more like Void Dragon. Whoa, whoa. That's some awesome looking armor. Thank you, brother. We are playing as one of the Sanguinary Guard.
Good. We have drawn their focus.
When does TECHMARINE come? The public test server is officially coming out at the end of January, and you would likely expect the main patch to come out at the end of February or very early March. I think that's a pretty safe bet. Do you think they'll ever make game modes with more than 3 people? They previously stated that no, they don't want to add in game modes with more than 3 people because it was like a difficulty thing. SABER wants to... They originally had the game as planned as a 4-player co-op, and they changed that post-development, in the middle of development, because they're like, wait, this is way too easy as a 4-player co-op, which it definitely is. The game is very easy with 4 players, because 4 players brings a lot to the table. Like an extra player, just think about the team comps you could do. You got like a Vanguard healing, plus Bulwark, plus a Sniper for single target, plus Assault for Horde Clear and stuff like that, or even like a Tactical Auspex. It'd be pretty gross. Thoughts on a stratagem where all 3 players can play the same class. That'd be a cool stratagem modifier. I think that'd be really fun. I think they can only spare 2 other men. That's true. Yeah, I didn't hear Akaran. It must have been a change pretty early in development because they were pretty clear.
The swarm is led by Primarchs.
I thought he didn't want a Chaplain thanks to due to the story arc with Titus. They said they wanted a Chaplain. And, I mean, you don't have to have it be from the Ultramarine chapter. Like, it's very clear now with the new DLC heads that they are completely willing to add in post-launch classes or post-launch characters that are not linked to the original Ultramarine chapter from the campaign, so... in the operations mode. And the further we get into operations, the more the game is moving away from the initial timeline of the campaign. Because the stuff we're playing right now in the operations, like Reclamation, this takes place after the campaign.
Reporting in. The bridge is lost, as are my squadrons. I am cut off from our planned route to the Ordnance Depot. Calculating a new route based on your report territory.
There you go.
Standing by. Be advised. The cruiser's crew managed to execute security.
Can you imagine if they released Chaplains of Leandros? I think playable Leandros would actually be really hype. You know, people shit on Leandros all the time, but Leandros is actually a pretty good Chaplain. Pretty good Chaplain option. Luckily, they let us do that on the 12-man mod. And by the way, any PC players can have any console players run a 12-man mod. That is true. You can do that. It's exclusive to private lobbies, but you can do that. Bro, unless bolt weapons redesign well, shotgun could be a piece of crap without landing all the headshots. That is true. The shotguns would need like a different multiplier for body shots and like per pellet damage. If they're like based on headshots, like dude, the idea of having to slug shot, what's the point of a shotgun at that point? You can't just like blast it into something without like worrying about headshots. Imagine if in real life, every time you shot a shotgun, you were terrified that like, I gotta aim for the head, it's the only way I gotta kill. Leandros is a peak Chaplain. Titus is sus as fuck. Titus is sus if you don't realize he's... You know, we as the players in Space Marine 2, we know Titus is the main character. So he has main character energy. Fake fans think Leandros did something wrong, true. Here we go. He does a lot of Leandros propaganda. I mean, what has Leandros really done wrong beyond like what he did in the first game? In Space Marine 2, he doesn't do anything incorrect. He's just being a Chaplain. He might have a huge stain of suspicion on Titus, but we just lose a player. We also lost Osborne. Osborne, come in. He must have DC'd. Tragic. Okay, we'll get someone else in here. They would probably make each pellet have an individual damage value. You could pray. Whoever wants to join. Osborne, it's very tragic you got kicked out of that, but... Alright, PC is joined off? Okay. Sorry if I just replaced you on accident. If only Titus told Leandros, do you doubt the Emperor's protection? That'd be a pretty gamer response.
Emergency blast shields retracting.
Only thing he did wrong was not reporting to a Chaplain in number 1. That is true.
Talasa, I need you to disable the entire cooling array. Concentrate fire on the exposed cooling rods.
Target the vulnerable cooling rod.
What would a Chaplain ability be like? They said they wanted to give it like damage boost for your whole team. They said they wanted that to be the fundamental idea, I believe. which could be pretty cool. Like, you, like, put down, like, litanies and stuff. Like, just imagine this, okay? Imagine you start, like, the Chaplain's ability is him, like, giving a prayer to the Emperor mid-combat, and your entire team gets a buff based on that. Would that not be fucking sick? I think that'd be pretty sick. Is a heavy bolter build viable for higher difficulties? Every weapon is viable for higher difficulties in this game. The only place that any weapon is ever truly limited in is siege mode, and that is only for the absolute highest waves of siege mode that 99% of the player base is neither getting to nor even interested in getting to. So, you as like a new player asking that question, I assume, or like you as a player asking that question, I assume you're not interested in that content. I don't know if you're new. Sorry to be presumptive, but yeah, Vicious Mockery, pretty cool. I mean, what mode of Space Marine 2 do you guys play more? I'm kind of curious. What do you guys play? You guys play Operations, Siege Mode, or Eternal War more? Or Stratagems? Ops? Yeah. I think Operations draw a lot more of the 40k fan base into them. Marines can't beat chemo skeletons. Hope we get at least 3 new classes. I'd be satisfied with 2. I would like 3. I would hope, like, if we get a 3rd one, I would want it to be like a librarian. Like, I think librarian just add the most to this game. I really do. I'm so hyped for TECHMARINE though, guys. I can't. I wasn't actually that hyped for it initially when I heard, like, a TECHMARINE. Like, I like Adeptus Mechanicus, guys, but I don't care about Adeptus Mechanicus as much as I care about a librarian in the game. I wish it were Siege, but Ops, yeah. Siege mode was definitely undercooked. I think people wanted a wave-based mode. I think people didn't realize how a horde-based mode would play in this game. Because people asked for Siege mode for ages, and now nobody plays it. Well, people play it, but nobody plays it compared to the amount of people that were asking for it. It was popular in release, but like, man, it fell off fast. It fell off really fast. It is fun to push like a really coordinated team, but like for random quick playing, it's just, you know, it's a mode that's inherently limiting because you'd have to queue in for like 10 levels, and like there's no reason to do that for an average player. There's no like real endpoint to Siege mode, you know what I mean? Yeah, Siege implementation is slopping. It would need a fundamental redesign that, like, I don't think SABER's ever going to give it. They'll probably give it something. Everyone's going to be TECHMARINE for a while. That's true. That's the sad truth, yeah. I bet they're saving the librarian for 3 when they inevitably have Titus undergo a Psycher awakening. I'm pretty sure in the case of Titus, it's more that Titus is just protected directly by the God Emperor. 5 waves of hard siege is a good XP farm. Yes, it is, but that's not really... That was not the main intention of Siege mode, was for it to be an XP farm. That's kind of what it became. Not my fault. I still got shit for that, but like, a SABER desperately needs to put in a mode that limits the levels, that gives you an actual level requirement to enter hard strats and siege mode, because there is no fucking reason a level 1 player should be allowed to load up and do hard siege the moment they enter in operations for the first time ever. They will all die. They will just die. That should not be an option for the player outside of private mode. Like, I don't want to limit them fundamentally from it, but like in the matchmaking, it should not be allowed. Low level shouldn't do high weeklies. Yeah. Hard weeklies should have a level requirement as well for matchmaking. I think all things should be playable in a group, in a pre-made group. If you want to do that, I think that's totally fine for the game. It's a healthy way to play the game in general. But in matchmaking, you do have to keep in mind some different things for matchmaking. Siege mode shouldn't let you enter with the fully kitted classes. Shouldn't let you enter with fully kitted classes and gear. You should be thrown in with a bolt pistol, and you buy gear such perks given to you in an RNG base. That's run gets harder. I just got sniped by that guy. I was reading that, but what do you call it? That's a roguelite mode. That would be cool as an option, but I don't think the point of the siege mode was to be a roguelite. I think a roguelike mode would be very cool for the game, though. You don't understand. The level 1 could be a returning veteran who could do solo absolute, give them a chance. Even if you could do solo absolute, you are just inherently holding back your team by not having a team perk at level 1. And that should not be allowed for the matchmaking, I don't think. I know you're taking the piss, but Titus is protected by Big E because it reminds him of a famous handsome actor from the 2000s. Who could that be? Can be Cavill Henry, could it? Is Titus going to be the Emperor Reborn, like a body he can be reborn into? No, they would never go that far. They're never, like, that's an out there. That would be an out there thing to happen. Ooh, a Sanctified Wrath Reliquary. I like that. What do you think which ability TECHMARINE will have? I have 2 videos on that. One of them was posted today, and one was posted about 5 days ago. And the one I posted today, I go over all the weak perks we have for the class, and in the other one, I give you a general idea of what I think the playstyle will be based on information we've been given. But to give you the TLDR here, the class will have sentry guns you can repair on the maps. They will be pre-placed onto siege mode maps, presumably, and guaranteed operations maps. It will also have a servo gun attached to the mechadendrite arm, which is like the little robot arms they have on their backs. And you'll be able to spec those into plasma, bolter, or a sniper shot variant. So your overall playstyle will be a hybrid class, because you'll have a primary, secondary, and melee weapon, on top of some bursts of damage with your servo gun, and some defensive playstyles you can pull off with those sentry guns as well. The JJK new season animation leaks look so good. They definitely do.
One last act of service.
In 5 years, Calgar is dead and Titus is chapter master. I saw Valrax say that. I agree. I definitely agree with him on that. I mean, I think that was pretty obvious the moment we saw the 500 Worlds reveal trailer, is that Titus is going to be the main character. The main character of 40k, pretty much. What's up, Bozrin? Sorry if you're in here already. I didn't see your comment if you were. I hope TECHMARINE has some tech, like emergent gameplay kind of tech. I think that'd be cool. You know, there are a couple perks that like have me wondering as to like whether or not the servo gun will be AI controlled, because one of them says that it is automatically targeting enemies. Another one says that the perk itself makes it start to automatically target enemies, but it doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, one of the perk designs doesn't make a lot of sense if it doesn't already in base have an AI controlled function. But maybe you can set it up to do that temporarily with the other perk. Because one of the perks reads, just to give you an idea what I'm talking about here. One of the perks that TECHMARINE has says that when enemies enter a certain radius of your character, your servo gun will shoot the enemy that enters that zone. That doesn't make a lot of sense as a perk effect if it's not already automatic. Now, another perk says that the TECHMARINE will only attack Majoris level and higher enemies. So because of that, that leads me to think it just attacks everything automatically unless they're meant to be used in conjunction, or one of them turns it into an automated thing temporarily, and the other one is supposed to be like a secondary option to spec it into like the Majoris suits, but that doesn't make a lot of sense to me anyways. So I think it's probably just going to be automated on soon. That is cool as fuck. It is pretty cool. I really hope the Sentry guns don't suck. That's my worry. Are we sure Titus won't be elevated to first company? Well, they put him as a captain of second company. And, like, if the next step after is he gets promoted to chapter master, I mean, he's just the chapter master of the Ultramarines at that point, so I doubt we'll ever see him in first company. I also think that, like, second company is the most obvious, is the most well-known company of Ultramarines at this point, thanks to Space Marine 1 and 2.
Prepare for heavy resistance, brothers.
So I imagine we'll see more of that. Pretty sure in 500 Worlds he has been promoted to captain of the second company. You are correct, Hennessy. Hennessy. We had the Horus Hennessy a while back. Good day. Great day, actually. Hi, FTG chat and mods. Hello, Abdullah. How are you doing today? Oh wow, his brain is broken. Wow, he's so crappy from all the way over there. God, this map looks so fucking cool, guys. This is the coolest looking arena. I hope they incorporate more stuff like this in the future, where you have like these little lightning things on the ground, and you can stuff like that. You know, incorporate the arena into the actual boss fight more. They kind of do with the Trigon, but it's a little more gimmicky there. I mean, I guess it's gimmicky here. Well done, brother. That was a good punch. I want a Space Marine 2 style game, but in the Heresy era. Horus Heresy is a very popular era of 40k. 30k is basically the inciting event of the entire series at this point. Well struck, brother. I will land on him. Klaus sick. Victor's Guard got nerfed, praise the Dark Gods, and Tabletop, you mean? I'm picking up with that at all. As long as they don't nerf their drip, I don't really care. Will there be 2 melee weapons at once, like 2 axes? Dual wielding is very easy to implement in the game, according to like some of the data miners I've talked to. It is, however, a difficult thing to make animations for, and balance, so that's probably why they've not added it. What's up, EOZ Games? How you doing, dude? This switch with friendly fire is so hard. It definitely can be if you're not playing melee classes. Inject more Deathwatch into your veins. We are getting a Deathwatch cosmetic pack eventually, so look forward to that. I do think at some point we'll get a 30k game. I don't know if it'll be a Total War 30k or something else. Well, Total War 40k is going to be a trilogy of games, but I doubt we'll ever get a 30k portion of that. You might get like a little side campaign event, kind of like what they did with the Huntsman campaign when they released Kazrak One Eye in Total War Warhammer 3. Sorry, not 3, 1. Like 10 years ago at this point. I want to buy mini Warhammer figures. How do I do that? You can buy them on your local game store. So if you look up like a local game store near you, that's where you can buy them. You can also buy them online. I think Amazon sells them, but they sell them officially on Games Workshop's website as well. There are a lot of avenues to purchase those. They are quite expensive though, compared to like most hobbies. Most tabletop hobbies anyways. Yeah, they're disgusting on the tabletop. I was unaware. If we get a Chaplain, he should be all melee, possibly dual wield. If we get a Chaplain class and they add dual wielding on top of that. That's kind of what they did with Hive Scum and Darktide, where like they use the new class as an opportunity to add in a new game mechanic. I think Saber Interactive does a pretty good job on the presentation of all the new stuff they add. I think Space Marine 2's overall perk design is quite limited. I don't think Saber's very good at designing perks, especially compared to a company like Fat Shark. But their class designs and presentations are quite good to look at and are quite fun. Diesel, thank you for the tier 1 sub, and welcome in Chaplain Diesel. Speaking of Chaplain, Hellbrute can only be bought from a Games Workshop website, I found out. Interesting, unless you buy it secondhand. Someone say Chaplain? Yeah, what's up, Diesel? And the Wab of the Prime sub saying hello again. What's up, Wab? How you doing, dude? Thank you for the Prime sub. Thank you for the Bezos delivery sub. Okay, all I really want is a two-handed sword, and I'll be 100% happy. Well, you'll probably get what you want, because one day they said their intention is to add in a two-handed weapon over anything else, so you probably see that before you see lightning claws or anything like that. Would they add a Psycher Marine? Potentially. You're definitely not going to see that this year, because I don't think we're in another class until like next year. Maybe they'll add in a Psyker Marine, like a Librarian, but to be honest, that's probably going to be in Space Marine 3. I feel like a reveal trailer for a Librarian Marine in Space Marine 3 would go very hard for a lot of people. They'd be very interested, like, oh my god, a Librarian in my Space Marine game? That's crazy, I can't wait. And like they'd get a lot of press off of that, so I think they would probably do it in that avenue. You can with mods? That is true, you can probably do it with mods. We'll probably see it in the Astartes overhaul before we ever see it in Space Marine 2 or 3. Alright, next we're going to play some Power Axe Vanguard, shall we? That's pretty fun. Actually, we can do Deathwatch. The Deathwatch, Ultramarine Deathwatch outfit. Thank you for playing Dust and Flexern. So I'm going to summon you guys in. Whoever would like to play, come on in. We're going to play one of the hard stratagems, and then after this, we will play the hard weekly. I won $1,000 on a scratch ticket. I'm buying some minis. That was a big W, Chidori. As a new assault player, which melee weapon would you say to go for and use until I'm leveled up? That is a great question. I'll make a full guide on this eventually, but to give you the TLDR here, when you're deciding which melee weapon to level up, picking one that's predominantly on multiple classes is a good idea. So number 1, Chainsword. This weapon is present on Vanguard, Assault, Tactical, and Bulwark. So if you want to level it up for your Assault class, you're going to get the benefit of being able to level these classes more easily as well. And that also goes for the Power Axe on all the melee classes and the Power Fist on Bulwark and Assault. I would say these two weapons, Power Fist and Thunderhammer, they are the most limited in selection for multiple classes. Only the Bulwark and the Assault have access to these. Meanwhile, Tactical has access to the Chainsword. The Combat Knife is also on Tactical, Vanguard, and Sniper. So if you want to level up that one, you can also use it on your Sniper. And Sniper only has access to the Combat Knife, so I would probably level a Tac with this or a Vanguard first, and then move my Relic tier to this class when I level up a Sniper. That's what I would do. Hopefully that answers your question. As far as what I was going to play, Power Axe. But the Power Axe is probably the most fun. I'll say that. When will the stratagems reset? In about a day and a half. On Wednesday. Axe is also on 3 classes. It is true, yes. But Chainsword is the only one that's on every single class here. The only one. Okay, let us go play. Oh, we got Osborne back in here. Welcome back, Osborne. Sorry you got dipped out in the last one. What's your main? I really made a class in this game. I think Space Marine 2 is a fun game. It's a game where you can play all the classes. Bulwark is probably the hardest class in the game in terms of like the upper skill limit, but the baseline skill level to play Bulwark is also very low. So he's good for newer players, and there's also a lot to learn on him. So that's pretty fun. We can play Atrophy. Oh my god, these ones actually suck though. These actually fucking suck. Atrophy though could be fun. Pepper, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Thank you, Pepper. We'll get some animated GIFs and all that in here at some point. Do you have a quick beginner guide to take a look at, or just go for it and learn? I will be uploading one, Brain Man. I will be doing that. I'm going to try to get all of those out before the TECHMARINE launches, but I'll probably get to at least 70% of them. I do have a brand new guide on all the melee weapon defense types, which is probably the most confusing portion of the game for a lot of players. And then I'll get ones on like health and armor and stuff like that as well. Those ones I do try to make sure they're high quality so players can understand what's going on. They do take a bit longer to get out. It's kind of like a conversation about the game or a build guide. But if you want to look up Space Marine build guides, I have multiple build compilations. You can find those in playlists on the channel, and they're for all classes as well, or individual ones that aren't part of those compilations. What's up, G? Are you on American servers? I sure am. I mean, actually, I'm Irish. What am I saying?
Our Vox transmissions are not
Robert, thank you for joining the Imperial Guard.
The source of the interference lies in heretic occupied.
Your melee video recently was very helpful. Thank you for that. No problem, dude. I had one on block weapons a while back, but I'll be updating all of them. I'll be making class guides as well. Probably for all the game modes. I'll probably go into like more niche game modes. More so towards the end of Siege and stuff like that. For like what is the best for like newer players. But oh my god, migraine, dude. They're getting cooked. We do have squad unity on this one. Do you know if you're getting any heroic weapons in patch 12? Yes, we are, EOZ. We are getting heroic weapons in patch 12. We don't know what they are yet. They are likely going to be block weapons, but they are coming. There will be, by the end of Space Marine 2, 3 heroic weapons, 2 heroic weapons for every single variant in the game, which is like, so this leads me into a completely different tangent I'm going to go on right now. It's that people have said Space Marine 2 will not be getting support after the year 2 pass. That is fucking nonsense. It doesn't make any sense at all for there to be 2. They have plans for 2 heroic weapons on every single weapon variant. And that makes no sense if they're ending the entire game.
What needs grappling? Reloading. Closing the gap.
I'm in large brain. Thank you for joining the Imperial Guard. Thank you very much, guys. Much appreciate the support. FTG, the realest question is Kriegsman or Steel Legion? Listen, only one of them is a fucking raincoat. The other one just has, like, you know, dirty rags. So obviously, Steel Legion. A yellow raincoat. Like, listen, if I'm trying to, like, RP as the man in the yellow hat, the closest one there is going to be Steel Legion.
See that dome of sorcery.
FTG, do you have any plans to do a video that shows your favorite builds/weapons for each class? I could do that. I don't know if I will, but I could definitely do that. I don't have any plans for it though. But give us a block hammer or more block charges. That would be for block hammer with more block charges would go crazy. That's actually a really unique idea. But I also feel like they're not going to do very defense type specific things with the heroic perk effects because a lot of players struggle to understand the mechanics already. But we'll see. They might. I don't see why they would ever end support at least a couple of years more. Maybe they'll slow down updates and content, but we should see something until a year or 2 off Space Marine 3. They said they're going to support it all the way up to Space Marine 3. Like, it's actually just like we're making shit up for the people who say the game is not getting support anymore. We don't know what we're talking about. Like, we're just ignoring information at that point. We're unaware of it. A slower content drop during the last year of the game, that does make sense, but as far as like life support for the game goes, I mean, let's put it this way. Space Marine 2 is made by SABER, and SABER Interactive also makes World War Z, and World War Z still gets content updates to this day. And this game is much, much more popular than World War Z ever was, even right now. Yeah, World War Z has got a Walking Dead collab. Like, come on. It's a pretty big thing. SABER Interactive is a fairly large company. They're not a AAA dev. They don't have like Activision money, but they do have a lot of manpower to move around. And they also made a lot of money off of this game. Block Heroic, brother, lol. Any block Heroic, that would be cool. Can't decide what game I like more, Space Marine 2 or Darktide. I think Darktide's better for a sweaty player. I think if you're really a number crunch player and you want to like know like my first combo on the guy, like my first combo on the weapon does this much damage. That's the big thing.
Shows us his craven colors. He left minions to protect his battlements. Destroy them all. Together, brothers, we must.
Anyone else here having fun with the hard stratagem? I'm losing my shit. I can help you out with that. If you need it, Marn. We can do that after this. As a community update released to No Basketball, community update will be out on the 29th of January. SABER just needs to purge their stupid bus games and focus on Space Marine 3. SABER does work on too many games, you're not wrong. Like a lot of their company's resources must be spread thin to some degree. They did make a comment way back when saying like Space Marine 3 and Space Marine 2 are not competing for resources, but like unless you have infinite resources as a company, that makes no sense. Like everything to some degree is competing. It has to be. I gave up on the hard weekly this week as it is just so stupid. Don't worry, Killer. We'll try to get you in there. It's so bad. I need help too. Okay, we'll do at least 2 today. I'm trying to get you guys all in there. It might take like 2 hours to do that though. So if you guys are not available, I'll probably be on for like 2 hours tomorrow. I don't know how long I'll be on tonight. Probably like a 4-hour stream tonight, but we'll try to do that for everybody. What's up, Volcro? This weekly definitely pushes multiple mistakes. I've been hearing people for it since I kept hearing people having a rough time with it. I mean, I think only one, like you only live once, is just a difficult modifier for most players. I think they're gonna have like a lot of trouble with that. Hello, I was looking for some Warhammer 40k contact. Well, if you meant contact, I can't give you physical contact from Warhammer 40k. If you meant contact, this is the place to be. I'm a big fan of the 40k. I was a fan of fantasy before I was ever a fan of 40k, but I've been a fan of both for well over 10 years. The varying levels, you know. Like, I didn't start off a hyper fan, but yeah, killed by teammates a lot. Yeah, oh yeah, friendly fire as well is a really rough strategy with randoms. We're Warhammer fans. We don't know physical contact. Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself, Launch. I've handshaked many players in this game. I didn't realize a tactical AoE blast perk on tactical kills by teammates in the hard weekly. Yeah, it does. Very tragic. A real tragedy. I want no physical contact from anything in 40k. It's true. It probably could be a Nurgle Plague. What's your favorite faction in 40k? That's a simple question. The Imperium of mankind. Humanity first, baby, is what it's all about. Humanity first. The Imperium of mankind. Those are our guys. Those are our boys. That's like not rooting for the UNSC in Halo. Yeah, Oni's evil. Yeah, the Inquisition might kill a lot of innocent people, but who else is there? Necrons and Xenos all the way. Inquisitor, this man right here. This guy. Goddamn, I sure do hate all this. What? Alright, cultist. POV, you're a cultist, and the Power Axe Vanguard. I'm sorry. You're saved by Zinch because he sent in a bunch of pizza disc angors with you. What I meant to say is, POV, you're a cultist, and the Vanguard barrels through you with a power axe. What's your next move?
Do not get thrown into this
Favorite Primarch? The Great Angel, Sanguinius. The Son of Baal. He alone is the Emperor's soul, as Horus said. No, it's a Gilliman. Gilliman can be a top 5. He doesn't even be top 1. What's your favorite chapter? The Blood Angels of Baal. Of course. Home to the greatest librarian in the 41st millennium, in my opinion. One on par with the Chaos Sorcerer Ahriman, known as Mephiston. Kinda cracked, to be honest. Calor Drago's up there too, because all of Grey Knights are, but... I don't even know if I have the 1 perk onto this right now. There it is. Something with that. Or stun ourselves. Oh shit, I got bopped. I didn't see it. I missed one of my parries there. That was a big L. We need to do. We'll run that one back. I think I moved away from my teammates and got them killed, to be honest. But is the dive kick build still relevant? I don't even know. Oh yeah, it's still its best combo. Dive kick build is still the best combo by far. Far and away. Hard to compete with Sanguinius. He is the best. Yeah, I didn't know we were in such a dire straits. I didn't even know what build I was running there, to be entirely honest with you. But we were certainly in dire straits on that one. Grey Knights lost so much aura when I learned about their Stop the Emperor thing. They also lost aura when they got fucked up by Space Wolves. A Horde of Meatballs leading to the Last Player Standing text is a classic. You know, Jeff and I actually just recorded a video before stream talking about Chaos Spawn. I don't think Chaos Spawn are unfair at all in this game. I think they just have a much higher base skill cap than Warriors do. So if you're new to the game, you just kind of get shit on by Chaos Spawn. Well, sometimes they also have a pretty mean mechanic for visual clutter. What's up, Froggy? I failed Fall of Atreus by literally 1 second earlier. Damn timer. Okay, well, we're going to do the weekly now, since I promised some people will do that. Hello, I'm new here and new to 40k. Well, welcome, KD Marie. We are... what do you want to know about 40k? You guys like 40k? We all love 40k, don't we? Alright, let's play easy mode. And get people their weeklies at all cost. Osborne, I already know you got this done. So thank you guys for playing. I know we failed the mission. That's very tragic, but okay. So the 2 people that asked if they need the weekly done, here is your invite code. Come on in. How many of the 40,000 Warhammers have you collected so far, FCG? Oh, we have so many Warhammers. Like, there's just such a pile. The pile goes so high. It's honestly hard to tell. I lost the normal Fall of Atreus as well because of the timer. Whose genius idea was it to implement that? Yeah. Timer. Well, the timer isn't too bad. I know we got Madam Arn. I know you're the one that already asked. Alex the Random. I don't know if you were the one who asked everything. Okay. Well, let me grab my coffee, and I'll give you the TLDR on 40k. Right back. So, the TLDR on Warhammer 1000. Red Viper, welcome to the Adeptus Custodes. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. Sorry. That's very generous of you. Please. Let's go to the the weekly here. So, Warhammer 40k, fundamentally, it is our world. This is the first thing I'm saying. The universe that 40k is set in is, for the most part, alternative fiction. It is 41,000 years into the future of mankind. Well, we're in the 41st millennium, that's the point. 10,000 years before the setting began, the most the inciting event of the current state of the galaxy happened, pretty much, which was called the Horus Heresy. There was an immortal, this is where we get into alternate fiction, where there was an immortal man that we don't know the official name of, who became the Emperor of Mankind. Humanity, he was born, like, in the Neolithic era. He lived through the majority of humanity's events, and eventually he revealed himself to humanity in its darkest hour. And that is when he became the Emperor of Mankind. He retook Terra, which is just Earth in the future, it's called Terra. And he then spread out, he set his sights on conquering the galaxy, or setting up humanity as a supreme race in the entire galaxy of the Milky Way. And I'll answer your question, MGX. So, yo mate, what can you say about Heavy Class? I just recently started playing Space Marine 2, I like it a lot. I play with the Heavy Plasma Gun. Heavy's a great class. Heavy's an amazing class. It's an amazing class.
Suns erected a warp beacon on Imperium. It is calling every warp fiend in the Imperium.
But what I was saying is that the God Emperor of Mankind, which will be later known as, basically, humanity went through what is called the Dark Age technology. We peaked in our overall tech level. We were incredibly advanced, and then we made AI. And AI, Men of Iron, gigantic AI-controlled robots went to war with us. A bunch of other things happened as well, but we had the Dark Age technology ended in that war pretty much, and we got cooked. We lost a lot of our best technology. We didn't really know our genetic engineering as well anymore. We don't even know how half of our shit functions anymore. And it was during that time that the God Emperor, the guy who would be the God Emperor of Mankind, he was just like, he was born an immortal. Let's put it that way. He was born an immortal man. That's just like part of the alternate fiction, is that like some guys in 40k, they're called perpetuals, and they are just born immortal, and they're usually Psykers. And a Psyker is just, think of it as a space wizard. They have like an innately magical power aside to an alternate dimension. But after we got fucked up by AI, the God Emperor, the Emperor of Mankind, this immortal guy who collected all the technology and genetic engineering of that time, or like lost knowledge of genetic engineering, he made genetically enhanced warriors called Thunder Warriors and retook the home planet Earth for himself. Like, he fought all the other factions. He had the Unification Wars where he unified Earth with his superior armies thanks to his knowledge of the Dark Age of technology. And he reunited Earth, and then he created these other super soldiers based on the Primarchs, which were just superhumans he personally crafted. There's more to it, but like we'll get into like other stuff later. I'm just trying to give you the TLDR here, is that God Emperor of Mankind, he knows things that nobody else does because he was alive the entire time during the Dark Age of technology. And he, with help from others, made a lot of super soldiers, and we're currently playing as one of those super soldiers in this game. Or one type of them. And he used these guys to go out across the galaxy in what was called the Great Crusade to basically just put humanity as the #1 supreme ultra being in the entire universe. Starting off with the Milky Way. That really is a TLDR. But eventually one of his super soldier sons betrayed him. And it all went to shit. And he got fucked up and put in a big chair. And now humanity's in the Dark Age again. Yeah, check out Bricky on YouTube. He has great videos for that too. He has a great TLDR on 40k. That was very kind of you for explaining it. No problem. I mean, I also just like talking about dumb shit, which is pretty much everything I like. That was a good TLDR, right, chat? I mean, that's about like as TLDR as you can get outside of a... Getting shoved off a fucking wall by these things. That's funny. 40k is like Greek/Roman mythology and history mashed up with King Arthur in the future, pretty much. And like the other thing I would say is the most important part of 40k is you have to know what the Chaos Gods are, because Chaos Gods, there is just, in 40k, there just exists a place called the Warp. It is just another dimension that is fueled by the emotions of humanity and other species, and some people can tap into that other dimension and pull power from it. But there are also gods that rule it, and these gods would very much like to conquer real space, which is where we live. And because of that, they spread their influence into the real world as much as they possibly can. So you have that eldritch aspect of the world as well. And the God Emperor and the Chaos Gods, they were constantly butting heads because they don't want the same thing, for obvious reasons.
A fresh fusion core should suffice.
Important note, humanity was already spread throughout the galaxy before the AI cooked us, and the Emperor wanted to not only conquer the galaxy, but also reunite the worlds that humanity colonized that were now cut off. Yes, humanity got a lot of its worlds cut off. That's a great point. And they're all at, like, various tech levels as well. Because, like, basically 40k takes place after humanity lost big time twice. But we're troopers. We don't stop. We keep going. What drip are we getting this patch again? Sharky boys, we are getting a Raven Guard champion pack and a cosmetic DLC for Caradones, which are the Shark boys. Does a charged Power Fist have increased tipping or block damage? No, a charged Power Fist. Actually, I think it does trigger the block charge. I don't think I've ever tried it out. That's a good question. It does trigger them. Because Intimidating Aura is melee. We'll put that in the Bulwark Guide. I'll make sure to test that. Eldar Lost More also created Slanesh, best Xenos. Listen, Eldar are just space elves, for anyone who's unaware. And space elves, they have wow, because you just didn't die of the Power Fist. But space elves, like most races in fiction that are elf-like, are up their own ass, but like needlessly so, despite them kind of being worse in every way. Like, at least in Lord of the Rings, the elves in Lord of the Rings, they are like genuinely just superior in like every single way. The elves in 40k, they are superior in a lot of ways, but also they're dumb as fuck sometimes. We got really close to making our own Chaos God, that is true. Yeah, the Eldari, they'll talk. I'm getting shot by my teammate. Ow. The Eldari, they talk a lot of shit about how cool they are and like how epic everything they do is. That's okay, man. They talk a lot of shit, but like they also spawned one of the Chaos Gods into the world because they were so hedonistic that, like, I mean, humanity never did that. Just saying. How can you say about the Dark Eldar? They make the newest fashion and furniture, unique materials. Yeah, don't Google image search Dark Eldar. Well, actually, you probably can. Don't Google image search Slanesh. Actually, you can probably do that too. Don't Google image search Slanesh fan art. Prepare to be bombed. Oh yes, the bombing is happening. Dark elves, like orcs? Well, the Dark Eldar, so there are space elves, and then there are dark space elves, but dark space elves are just the, they're just space elves, basically. Except they worship a different god. They're the exact same species. But they're worse in every way. Except for, like, combat sometimes. They're pretty good at that. But, like, in terms of, like, which species you want to be a part of, it's a whole thing. Just imagine if, like, one group of elves are, like, they're Amish, okay? They're the Amish elves. That's actually how the factions go. There are Amish elves. And then there are, like, Protestant elves. And then they're elves that love nightclubs. And that's how they're categorized officially. Yeah, Omega Gunner elves. Party elves, yeah, exactly. They talk a lot of shit until Calix's assassins walk in. They also talk a lot of shit until they realize that the God Emperor was the greatest Psyker ever. Yeah, they're cool pirate elves. Yeah, there's nothing, there's no deeper meaning to the elves, to the Dark Eldar. Don't worry about it at all. All you need to know is that they're just party elves. They love to party. Don't look into it any deeper than that. Fine. Edgelordia's faction elves if they listen to Fallout Boy. Pretty much. I read that a Kakarodan tortured a Dark Eldar was staring at him for hours or something. I don't remember that one. That sounds pretty 40k to me. That does sound quite 40k. If Diddy parties were wild, imagine Dark Eldar parties. They really do put Diddy parties to shame, I'm sure. The main storyline focuses on humankind in the 40k universe. Eldar for now are nothing but NPC. Yeah, humanity is the primary faction. The best way I could explain humanity in 40k is that it's basically the Holy Roman Empire, where we're a very powerful force, because a little history note, the Holy Roman Empire was still a very powerful empire even while Rome was falling. Like, you as another nation would not want to deal with them, because they have gigantic armies. Even if, like, their politics are getting worse and worse all the time, they're not someone you want to be dealing with. Oh, did my game just disconnect? That's tragic. I'm sorry, guys. Space Marine 2 servers be like that sometimes. But yeah, 40k, the Imperium of Mankind are basically the Holy Roman Empire. We are an incredibly powerful military. One of the most powerful factions in the entire setting. If you just take, like, the cumulative, not even the word for it. If you take the entirety of humanity in 40k, and like you were just reunite them all and give us all of our Primarchs and all of our best Psykers and stuff like that, we are a force to be reckoned with. But as far as our politics are concerned and like our overall logistical failings, we are diabolically underprepared for everything. Whole Eldar fried their brains. Dark Eldar Space Adventure is the best adventure. Fine. Oh, okay. It didn't actually disconnect this. It just had a server hiccup. So when this server hiccup happens, you can actually run into another boss on the map. Holy Roman Empire casually getting stabbed every other week in the Senate. I mean, I think that's a pretty good description for them, because they really are just a Holy Roman Empire. They're a very powerful empire that's failing. That's all it is. We're just that guy in 40k. Yeah, humanity, like, I mean, our military presence in the Imperium is an incredibly militarized empire. Yeah, no more wound. Okay, well, I guess that's a net positive for everybody. Prince doesn't have an auto rejoin feature. I think it's just automatically set up that time. Is it true the operators of Dreadnoughts can't leave their suit? It is definitely... I mean, technically, they probably could get them out of them. Do they ever leave? No, not really. They just kind of, like, park them. You can actually see that in the armory hall for this game, in the campaign. That, like, you'll see Valtis is just the Dreadnought for the Ultramarines in this game. He's just chilling in a corner in his suit at all times. Hellbrutes can definitely not get out of their suit. Like, they're straight up bonded to it. They're also usually tricked into joining those things. Yes, Necrons... Well, we're not talking about Necron. That's a little too... I would say that the first faction, if you're trying to explain 40k to somebody, the first faction I would ever mention is the Imperium of Mankind, because that is like 90% of the setting. And then after that, Necrons mainly exist, like they're really in the forefront now, but Necrons exist as a good prelude. And a, you know, just a good explanation for the old ones, Catan and all that. Hence why they put their Dreadnought, they put their guy into the Dreadnought, because it's as a Space Marine, they were too heavily damaged. Yeah, so a Dreadnought is just a Space Marine that gets so damaged in combat that they can't actually fight in their normal power armor anymore. So they just take them and plop them in a heavily armored mech suit until they die for real this time. Isn't it kind of nuts that Rogue Trader's getting a Trades in the Infinite DLC? Maybe we'll see the Fulgrim clone. Maybe he'll be in it. What do you think are the best Thunderhammer perks for the Assault class? I mean, I can show that after this. But usually you either go into the Ground Slam Seismic Chain thing, or you go above into Reclamation or Extremis Slayer. Those are like their only two options. Extremis Slayer is better for Siege mode. Ground Slam is better for operations, but both can function in either or. My dogmatic Rogue Trader will be taking the Fulcrum Club. I hope it's good. I mean, Necrons are pretty undercooked in Rogue Trader. A weaponized life support coffin. That's a great way to put a Dreadnought. Still shows you have the power core. Well, as long as it gives you guys the accolades, we should be okay. Darth Sanguinius the Dead. Yeah, the best way I would explain Necrons. Have you ever seen Futurama? You know they have the Unalive Yourself booth in Futurama? Just imagine that, except like all the Necrons, they were told to enter the Unalive booth, but instead of unaliving them, it turned them into robots with no souls. One by one.
The demon engine believes it has the advantage.
Catan, our friends, not food. Wait, that's the wrong movie. I thought Necrons defeated their gods. Yeah, but only after they had their souls robbed from them. Like, I'd say it's a pretty big L to take, you know? Like, guys, we captured the gods. What happened to our souls? Oh, they're still gone. Whoever was left of the Necrons took their gods over. They're undercooked Forerunners, pretty much. Forerunners are also predominantly stronger than those 40k factions, but funnily enough, Necrons are probably one of the few factions that is close. I'm pretty sure Forerunners still have overall better tech. Just taking into account things like Dyson Spheres and stuff like that, though Necrons do have the Celestial Orrery. Necrons are really easy to explain too. Frogs with cancer, fought God and lost, and they got turned to Terminator Egyptians and went to sleep. That is the TLDR. What happened to our souls and the Catan burps? They are living metal, but they don't have souls anymore. But like, I mean, is it really like, as far as I'm concerned, like they're living metal in the sense that their metal regenerates and they have like some essence of life. But if you have no soul in 40k, you're pretty much, they're not even like a blank. They just don't have a soul. They don't have like a fucked up soul or anything. Because blanks don't have a warp presence, but like they're still around. You know, they have like they have a distinct presence, I should say, which is the lack of presence. A Necron is just like it's just non-existent. Period. They're not blanks. They don't like have an anti-warp buffer. Now, do you guys think the God Emperor was a strong enough Psyker that a blank would actually affect him that much? I don't know if we ever had that interaction. Blank's like the Sister of Silence, yes. Here, let's give our guys. The Warriors are just blanks. The Deathmarks get some will. I mean, are they blanks in the sense that they actually wipe out the warp signature of the area? Because I don't actually even know about that part of their lore. Oh, I'm about to line up all those Angors. Wow, that was honestly incredibly disappointing. Such massive bug area, these guys.
Whatever foul entity serve, it's bound.
Why are the Sisters of Silence not speak? Well, because otherwise they wouldn't be the Sisters of Silence, they'd be the Sisters of Talking. The Sisters of Many Words. Or maybe like the Sisters of Mumbling. They took a vow, yeah, that's the actual answer. Not my meme, not my shitty meme answer. The mumble rap sisters, yeah. The blanks to the Emperor are like drops of water in a forest fire. Now, that is a profound way to put that. It's a great quote. I'm gonna remember that one. Is that your quote, Soul? It's a good one. Or you robbed that from somebody else. Alright, boys. As long as we make it past the bridge, we're all gonna be okay. Everyone hold my giant power fist hand. We're going all the way to the Helldrake. It's a very large hand to hold. Still like the headcanon idea that one of the redacted Primarchs was a blank, so Emperor had to kill him because it messed him up. That would be a cool idea, but you just kill the Primarch because he was an obnoxiously potent blank.
Brace the balefire!
The demon engine, promise of righteous retribution now.
So the next campaign in Tabletop is Iron Warriors. I'm pretty sure it's Maelstrom, but we'll see. I mean, what do you guys think about the New Year's reveal for like the Maelstrom stuff? I like the Mantis Warrior Librarian dude. It's part of the Corsairs now. That's pretty cool. Honestly, an upgrade in Rip because Mantis Warriors are criminally under outfitted in my opinion. But they really got the shit tier. They got Ultramarine, you know. They got a Skyrim Orcish green color going on. Primarchs are warp painted by default. Being a blank basically would not be possible for them, no. I mean, I doubt it would. That's actually a great point, yeah. They're basically just children of the warp as much as they are genetic engineering. That's why they were so susceptible to chaos. That was a needless waste of HP. Alright, I'm pretty sure we actually lost the last possible, oh dear.
None undermined. The mission logs no
Hahaha. Gigantic Biscoper. And technically, isn't Titus now like a saint because he was directly spoken to by the Emperor? I mean, officially, no. Unofficially, probably. I think it's actually Peter Turbo they tease. They're just releasing her on. They just released her on. Yeah, it's not going to be Peter Turbo. I'm pretty sure the armor is going to make sense for him to be Peter Turbo. Okay, grab that. Grab that.
Proceed to checkpoint.
Oh, that guy's teleported right in front of me. Genius idea.
It is on an attack vector.
Smartest Zinch Reverse Marine. Titus talked to the big emperor at the end of Space Marine 2 when it says "Rise, son of Gilliman." That is the emperor speaking to Gilliman. I'm not Gilliman. Titus.
Fast, brothers!
It seeks to devastate the area.
Each time that Eldrick attempted to imitate.
Titus is John Warhammer, pretty much.
Located extra stills.
He is pretty much just John Warhammer, ain't he? I wanted to give him that stim, but he's going to go in, so that's okay. We take those.
This sanctum is profaned by dark energy.
Holy shit, I don't remember that? Yeah, because a lot of people thought it was Calgar talking, but it was actually the Emperor. Do you think they'll raise the skill ceiling at some point for this game? Probably not. I don't think this game's player base is predominantly interested in a very difficult game. I think that's become abundantly clear over time. I think this is much more of like a... I think the difficulty is pretty good for where the general player base is at in Space Marine 2.
The barrier is broken.
Cleansing might successful. Your deeds will be immortalized in the archives.
Dane, thank you for the Prime sub for 5 months. 5 months of Premium Prime. Thank you, Dane. Also, thank you for being here for pretty much since I started Twitch streaming this game. Yeah, look at us. What the fuck are we gonna do on a higher diff? Yeah, I'm saying, like, I do genuinely think the majority is, like, you have to think, you guys in the chat, I know a lot of you are from, like, the sale that went on in the game, but the people that watch me regularly, like, year-round, you're the most dedicated players in all of Space Marine 2. Most players, they don't give a fuck about the Chapter Head DLC controversy. They don't give a fuck about anything except, like, the new content drop. Ow. The new content drop that just came out.
Saint Lankai's relics were known to stave off war.
And they don't even pay attention to the game outside of that. So they do not need harder content. Hey, there we go. That's why we bring the tactical aspects. This is my new Halo. There's just not much to do after I put 100 hours into it. I think there's a lot to do after you put 100 hours into this game. Is that a nice way of saying we suck? No, it's not. Like, listen, guys, it's everything, like, what is sucking at a game, really, you know? What does it mean to suck at a video game? I mean, at 100 hours of the game, you definitely didn't max all the classes. That's true. It does take like 10 hours per class, let alone weapons. Hey, FTG. I would say hello, chat, but they're talking about milking Titus. I'm not sure if I should get involved. Guys, no more milking Titus in chat. Probably Froggy saying that. Was an absolute new. Well, we have 2 post-launch difficulties with lethal difficulty and absolute. Sucks to suck. Midmarn, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Thank you, Midmarn. How did he know? I can smell the taint of chaos in chat, okay? I didn't play a lot of content above substantial, but I still enjoy your videos, even the ones aimed at super skilled players that can solo absolute. I mean, my videos are primarily aimed at, like, newer players. Like, as far as I'm concerned, what is my job in Space Marine 2? My job is to help new players play the game, get them their weeklies, understand the systems of the game. I'm gonna have more guides coming out for this, but, like, I want this to be a space that's welcoming for new players. You know, I won't lie. When I started this channel, I was an elitist fucker. Like, I was absolutely like, oh my god, these guys all suck at the game. But, like, I've slowly had to just up my patience level on that and, like, have a step back and look at where the predominant player base is in a game like this. Like, there is no point in ever viewing a game like this that way. There's absolutely no point. It's just a lack of perspective on, like, where the player base is at. Most people I've seen don't do absolute till like 300, 400 hours. True. Alright, guys, get in here. Your recent video explaining block mechanics was a revelation. Don't think I would have ever figured that out. Yeah, there's nothing telling you in the game. There's absolutely nothing. But gatekeeping is the way. Good night, gang. Take it easy, Froggy. Alright, whoever needs a weekly, come on in. Come on in, guys. Their eyes are closed, Inquisitor. May everyone embrace the real truth. Yeah, the heretical XP truth. Man, I wish Siege gave accolades for going past Wave 15. It will give accolades eventually. They did say that. Just not yet. Not yet. We got Jabroni Pepperoni in here. The classic Jabroni Pepperoni. Okay. Your heart grew by 3 sizes. Yeah, pretty much, honestly. Not gonna lie. The Reliquary. Let's see this. I should have joined. I'm still leveling my tactical. I'll leave. No, not. Come on in. We'll get you those accolades. If you're leveling your tactical, you almost guaranteed need your accolades. That's what we're here to do. Help you out. Will you be doing one more run after this run? Midnight over here. Yeah, Red Viper, we can do that. You've been asking for days, so I'll definitely get you one. We will make room, guaranteed. Can I join? Dizzy, you can come in after 2. FTG public service announcement. Which one? Oh, for the block weapons? Yeah. I mean, I made a video on that before, but I think this one was much more well made. I think the only thing that's incorrect in that video, I had to clarify in a comment, was that the block weapons, or excuse me, the animation recovery time is the most important portion of the speed stats. Speed stats do not increase your actual attack animation; they decrease the recovery animations. Or they speed them up. They decrease the time it takes. But it would be good if I banked for each wave. Would help with DC issues. Oh, the siege mode, yeah. Hey, yo, what's up, Yushi? Is that man from Mount? Is that Man of Mountain? Mountain Man. They're the same PFP. I know it's just a new Chia symbol, but Man from Mountain. I know YouTube changed their names a while back. But I do remember that guy. What heroic weapon would you recommend? I chose a Thunderhammer first time around. Lord regrets. I would say the first one I would ever get would either be... Well, first off, this would depend on what weapon you like the most, and if you're leveling up your weapon. If you're trying to level up your power sword, taking a Xenophase Blade will give you a relic tier stat power sword immediately. And you can use heroic weapons before you actually level up the base weapons. But if we're talking about like what is strictly the best as like a strict upgrade to the other relic tier counterparts, that would be things like the Heavy Bolter. The heroic Heavy Bolt pistol is an incredible option as well. But the Heavy Bolter gives you a fencing window. It is just the best Heavy Bolter in the game right now. It's not like really a question. I would also say the Heroic Power Fist is a great option for newer players because that gives a very safe build option to not only level your class, but also just level up your Power Fist, which is a weapon that's very hard for a lot of players to use initially. And yeah, also the Heroic Instigator Carbine is a strict upgrade, in my opinion, to the other Instigator Carbines. Just got a few days ago, already have Assault and Prestige 3 and Vanguard Prestige 1. Any tips for stratagems? I have a bunch of build guides for stratagems, if you're curious. Stratagems, it really depends on the individual stratagem. I have a build guide for every single weekly that comes out. I do make a video on that most of the time. But I think I'll just make them every time because people struggle with every weekly. Even ones I might personally consider easy. Yeah, Power Fist is buns until you get the range damage buff. Yeah, that's why the Heroic Power Fist can be a great option for leveling up your Power Fist. Because that one is just, it works in a very different way, and you don't have to, like, deal with the same damage breakpoint fall off of, or problems that the other one has until you level it up. Because playing a white Heroic Power Fist, playing a white Power Fist on Absolute is just asking to die, or be annoyed. Because the weapons doesn't work right without the, What's up, Fan the Mighty? Hello, hello. Are you guys excited for TECHMARINE? I'm sure you all are. I am. Who has dared to message me on my phone? Oh, nobody. Because I'm 15% battery left. Oh. Most weeklies don't even need a guide, to be honest. A lot of them do for players. A lot of players, the player skill level in this game is just not where a lot of people might think it is if you're dedicated. I've made this mistake as well, where I'm like, oh, like, this weekly is super easy. Nobody would ever need a guide for this, but then people still die all the time on them, and I help them out. Just experienced some games. I do the carrying, whereas in Space Marine 2, I'm still learning a lot. Hey, I mean, I'm sure once you learn the game more, a lot of Space Marine 2 is simply a knowledge check game. The game doesn't tell you a lot, but the more you know, the easier it gets. That's true for a lot of things, but this game especially doesn't really have mechanical difficulty. It's not like Marvel Rivals where, like, there's a lot to learn in the mechanics of the game, or like League of Legends and Dota 2 and that stuff. Most of it's a knowledge check on what the enemies actually do to you and how your weapons function.
Our point of egress is blocked.
The increased extremis spawn stratagem is insane. That was definitely harder for a lot of players. The Heroic Fist does look really fun, but I do play a lot with fencing at the moment, so the Bolt Pistol would be cool too. The Heroic Heavy Bolt Pistol is definitely better than the Heroic Standard Bolt Pistol at the moment. Only because its gun strike damage is ludicrous. Whereas this price need to buy a 3D printer. Oh, you guys are trying to print minis? Tips for not getting mugged by 12 Chaos Spawn. I'll make that video eventually, but I have a lot of videos to make in the next 2 weeks. Oh, speaking of which, look at the hell route. Super fun. I'll be making videos after the PTS too, but I can do all that. Expect a guide on everything on this channel. I'll try to make them... I'm not going to go into too number crunching on them, like a little bit, but we will try.
Become a beast. Death never around when
Oh, I trying to teleport away? I don't think so. Mop that guy. Thumbnail gotta be a Space Marine on the casting couch with Chaos Spawn surrounding. That's actually... That will be one of them. That's fucking hilarious, actually. Just have Titus sitting on the casting couch with like 15 Chaos Spawn around him. Holy shit. That's a funny image. I feel bad for the Chaos Terminators flipping Imperium just pumped up with new armor marks, which they just slap a bunch of extra armor onto for a heavy loadout or 90% of the way there. Yeah, well, you know what? Maybe Chaos, maybe if all these Heretic Legions didn't go Heretic, they would get more armor upgrades from the amazing production capacity of the Imperium. Just saying. Maybe if all the chapters didn't disconnect themselves from the Adeptus Mechanicus and go Heretic, they'd get more armor mark variants. Just saying. This is just food for thought. Reason number 50 billion to not be a heretic.
Waste nothing, brothers. All specs, it is working. Excellent work, brothers.
Glory to the Omnissiah. Input request.
I want you to open this door now.
The next level, I think, with the Prime sub.
Shields in place.
Hey, how's it going? What's up, Unknown? How you doing? Unknown fact, not to be confused with just unknown. Two very different people.
I, Captain Akaran, authorize the reinterment of the honored dead off-world.
Chapters must be sacrificed in the name of Drip.
Captain Akaran.
They kind of already are. I mean, we have a Blood Raven here, so he'll steal whatever we got.
Attendant, locate the remains.
I tell you guys, of all the new upcoming 40k games, which one are you looking forward to the most? Space Marine 3, Total War Warhammer 40k, Dawn of War 4. Maybe there's one person out there that wants Dark Heresy more than anything. Oh, there's another unknown. I'm doing good, enjoying me some Pyroblaster runs from time to time. Yes, there's another unknown. His name is It's Just Unknown. Not to be confused with you, who are unknown fact. The fact is, there are two of you. Sorry for the pun. Got kicked in the face. Oh, he bobbed his little brain. Probably just got horribly missed. Are there more runs for the weekly? Yes, I promised Red Viper I get him in one. I don't know if the other guy who asked is still here, but we can do that indeed. I'm whiffing. I'm whiffing. All right, there we go. It's already a perk, but it's really just an overperforming perk at all times. Did anybody watch the new 28 Days Later movie? The Bone Temple? My friend went to go watch the, so, since everybody knows pretty much that Cillian Murphy is in the Bone Temple, my friend went to go see the new 28 Days Later movie. And he's never seen any 28 Days Later movie ever. And his friend, when Cillian Murphy came on screen, all he shouted out was, "Why the fuck is Thomas Shelby in my fucking zombie movie?" Verbatim. I found that quite funny. They're British, by the way, if you can't tell. He is? Yeah, he is. For like 2 seconds, but he's in the movie. Fucking Thomas Shelby. That was my best rendition of a British accent. I'm sorry if you're British and like your ears just fell off. But
Exhumation and relocation may commence.
honestly, you didn't know Cillian was in it? Yeah, yeah, he is. He is. He's back in it.
Let it be done.
For like 2 seconds.
Tombs rest.
No spoilers. Beyond the fact that he's in it. That was in all the marketing already.
Return to the console and let us leave this too.
You just came back from it. Did you like it? Pretty good movie. I can't wait to watch the Bone Temple this week. I heard it's even better than the first part. It is definitely better than the first part. That accent is perfect, pretty sure. They got the Cockney accent. I've practiced my Cockney accent a lot just by listening to goblins in Total War Warhammer 3 say like, "No way, can't do that." Night goblins, you know. 28 days is awesome. 28 weeks is dog water. 28 years is awesome. I kind of like 28 weeks, you know. I was a kid when the zombie craze happened. That when zombie movies were huge and like Call of Duty Zombies was all the jam. Walking Dead was just coming out. I was there. I had the zombie survival guide. I was ready for the end of the world, and me and a lot of other people were also ready for the end of the world. And I was super hyped for everything zombie related, and then I found out there was like, wait, what is this British indie film basically of a zombie called 28 Days Later? And it was like the first R-rated movie my parents let me watch, so I was very excited. I was locked in for the zombie apocalypse. My fiance broke up with me last Friday, and I've been drunk kind of all weekend. Some words of encouragement, mate. You know, that's one of those things where you cannot possibly, you can't really like, how do I put this? First of all, I'm sorry that happened to you. But the only thing that heals that is time. It just sucks. Like, I hate it when people give like, oh, I'm so sorry that happened to you. It does blow. I know I just said that. But, it just fucking sucks. And there's no two ways about it. And it feels miserable when something happens to you. And the only thing that's going to fix that is just time. But hopefully, and like just getting your mind off of things, but hopefully we can get your mind off of that a little bit tonight. In this stream or day. Definitely one of the best zombie series franchises. Yeah. 28 Days Later would be great. I am sorry to hear that, Arch. Shitty things are shitty. Better now than after the wedding. That is true. I'm in Space Marine 2. That's what I'm doing right now. If you didn't have a zombie apocalypse bunker, you weren't a fan. Yeah, either that or you didn't have the money for a zombie apocalypse bunker.
The demon engine engages with flame.
I wonder what killed my teammate. It could not possibly be the 45 meatballs in front of me. This game is so easy. Just use armor lock, bro. We're playing Halo Reach armor lock.
Get down.
At least they look hilarious when they get punched like this.
Never let a brother fall.
It is shockwave damage, man. That's funny.
Where's like that this flag? Hellbreak on approach.
Here, let's heal him up. I'm not gonna shoot because I don't want to hurt him.
Annex location.
Oh, okay, good. Hey, that went out perfectly. I gave him the HP as he went flying towards him. I'd say that's the best scenario we could have got. Time and Space Marine 2, that's what you're doing. I'm sure if the UNSC made armor lock, the Imperium can. Maybe it's a different thing, though. Armor lock was fucking annoying in Halo Reach, okay? Arch, you kept the house? Well, that's the biggest W we need to hear. That sucks, man. Try to keep as much of your regular routine as possible, definitely. Get up on time, go to bed on time, eat properly, gym if you can. Healthy body required to cope with stress. It's true. It's great advice. I'm a big proponent of exercise. I think if you're depressed for any reason, or you're down for any reason, and you're not currently exercising, that's the first thing that needs to change alongside diet, and then everything else comes after that. The free banner farm, look at that. Gotta love you some banner donor terminators. Yeah, that's pretty much what they are. Guys, a banner drive. Donate your warp cannon shots, please. What is robbing me? What is my Jabroni? What have you done to me? What have you done to me? Why is my HP vanishing before my eyes? So it's definitely not his ranged attack. What's a shockwave or what? Power wave? Power axe explosion. Oh, it's the overcharge perk. That makes sense. It is electric damage, so.
You advance without support. You have more special. Worried that I was still lost glory. I am worried for those who will have to retrieve your genes from the thick of the enemy.
It works with shock and awe. Yes, it does, but like you only get like 2 seconds of electrical damage on it anyway, so not really that meaningful. It buffs the overhead follow-up and that's it. Yeah. It's not, unfortunately, it's not more substantial, but you only get a lot of electrical damage out of it.
One death is. It is on an attack vector.
Alright, Red Viper, are you still here? Are you still here, Red Viper? Imagine getting killed by the power fist of the wind fart created by a gigantic electrical fist. What a way to go. Yeah, I feel pretty bad. You just see you see a guy charging up a punch 50 miles away from you and you just die. And by die I mean like you literally explode. Like that. I'm pretty sure we're not gonna get a Hell Brute. Unless we get a Hell Brute up here, which I'm pretty sure we're already past the final boss spawn now. Unless you did something wrong in the relationship, such a thing as mutual friends in that situation. Let's go pop that.
The spearmen troubled us no more. Enemy reserves incoming. Prepare to strike them down. Ammunition here.
Can the combi melter or heavy bolt rifle melt bosses? Melt bosses? It can melt hordes pretty well in some cases, like my Horus forms. I would not say it would melt bosses at all. Your plasma pistol is actually the best boss melter on tactical alongside the Pyro Blaster. You can build for like some pretty ludicrous damage on the plasma pistol.
We have done well. Put you down.
I didn't realize the power explosion was damaging you, my bad. Well, I've never encountered that in friendly fire anyway, so I can only blame you. So combi or heavy for up to extremists, other than that, use the plasma. I mean, plasma with Auspex can like positively nuke a boss. You can also apply, so if you look at the defense video I made, there's a 50% damage debuff that is applied to the enemies for 2.2 seconds upon you parrying them or perfect blocking them. A perfect parry or perfect block, and like a little yellow outline. That works for bosses too. So if one, this also can apply from any teammates. If you have a bulwark sitting in front of the boss, and you put down Auspex, and you get that 50% damage buff off the parry from them, and then you shoot them with your plasma pistol with plasma boost, rate of fire, and versatility, you will disintegrate a boss. It is ridiculous how much damage it does. Yeah, I wouldn't use the combi or the heavy bolt rifle. I mean, obviously shoot the boss if you can, but plasma will do more damage. Neurothrows can take a lot of damage though from combi
This
also too.
sanctum is profaned by dark energies. Please perform.
I'm guessing you're not gonna be able to chunk down the Helldrake in time, though. You will be able to. We've been here many times before.
Saint Lankai's chosen relics radiate a pristine aura.
Sorry to ask, what are your graphic settings? Mine is more blurry. Well, if you're, the only thing I turn on is like medium.
Praise be
The main
to
things that
the
make your game
Messiah.
textures look blurry are number one, texture
Interact with
filtering, and
corresponding
like
sigil to perform cleanse.
your resolution, your general textures for the your level of detail in the game. Those are all the things that really affect the blurriness of your game. Because like, if you're seeing blurry environments, that's almost always a texture thing. The most graphically intensive settings in a game are usually shadows and like particles.
I will add Saint Lankai to
It
my
depends,
list.
you know. It depends. If you have a shitty CPU, shadows especially can be really brutal, and particle effects can be very brutal. Like rain is a very demanding effect in a lot of games. Yeah, it could be DLSS, that too. Depends on your yeah, DLSS has a notably grainy effect.
Our quarry and our objective are within our
FTG, please tell me to give consoles an FOV slider. Arkham, I don't have such power. My power level is not there. I have power fist. That's the best we got. Guys, I don't work for SABER, okay? I'm a gamer.
and the beacon.
I just game. I am just guy. I'm a dude that plays a game on the internet. That's all it is.
Saint Lankai's relics were known to stave off walking.
I don't have pull with the company. They don't give a fuck. If they wouldn't listen to me if I asked them to change the prestige perk. Think I can get a whole ass FOV slider? I wish.
Look to the glass.
Look to the glass, dude. That's interesting. You can actually do that. I think I just learned that. You can cut out. Dude, Bulwark really is that guy. I'm pretty sure I just animation canceled the explosion, so I didn't actually take the siege effect from it. I have to test if that is possible more. Oh wow, what a mean place for this boss. Dude to be. Bro, I'm actually looking into getting this game, so your stream's gonna let me know if I'll like it. I'm glad. We will let you know. You will find out at least something here. It's either how to die in Space Marine 2 or how to play it.
It seeks the cleaver.
I guess both those are technically playing the game though. Ah, you fucking idiot. You've now gone behind the sacred pillar. Such a rude bash he does. Can Bulwark block the Neurothrow wave attack? No. That is not something that's blocked in this game.
Symbol linked to value.
That's so... I don't know why that one just cracked me up so much, but like watching this go fucking flying.
Fast, brothers. Ready the relics. Correct sigils, please. It seeks the cleavers. We will drop this bell.
You can block the Neurothrow wave against stagger. The wave or the laser beam? Alright, we're finally gonna get it done here. Oh, step 1 will be done. Step 3 remains to be seen. We did just get a horde spawn on this, which is like super cool and all that.
That's the correct sigil.
Oh my god, dude. Of course it sent like 4 Zangors at me, and that super fun. The wave, not the laser, yeah. Mr. Wonder, can you block? Because the Hive Timer laser is the same thing, I'm pretty sure. I'll test that out later. I was gonna make a bulwark guide anyways. I feel it's a more niche mechanic than like 90% of people. But I actually know, when it comes to blocking, that's actually probably a more noob-friendly mechanic than anything else. Because the more you play Bulwark, the less you actually block for perks like Armor of Contempt and stuff like that to even take effect. So newer players are actually more inclined to block in Space Marine 2 than your peak Bulwark. Oh my god, this is so fucking annoying. Alright, is that a shield? No, it's the other one's over here.
It seeks the cleavers.
That's why following blow is so good. Alright, that was super fun. This one always takes forever. If your teammates are dead by the time you get Hero's Bulwark, you're just sitting here mowing through endless fucking dudes. Very obnoxious. That's the job I signed up for. On the fixture of this, they gave Assault a way to animation cancel like Bulwark Canada's shield. I talked about this before. The easiest way to do that would just be make Assault's jump pack dash animation cancel. Like, first of all, that opens up so much skill expression for an Assault player, and on top of that, it's not going to be remotely as broken as the Bulwark one already is. So, I create another wave.
Where shall I plant this flag?
Love this. So much fun. That's so much fun.
Chaplain's relics were known to stay more. Traitorous scout. Hold fast, brother.
Ow. I think I got the perfect dodge on that, and it still does that shit to me.
My mind is steel against this grotesque corruption.
Dude, having to high mine these pillars here just sucks. Those just suck.
It seeks the cleavers.
Through the wall, eh? Very fucking annoying.
A dark path.
I've been killed here many times by the fire because you cannot block the fire. When you were if you use your shield while you're behind the wall, you will just die. And Raised Rubric Marine, that guy can just one-shot me here. I mean, not one-shot me, but that guy can definitely one-shot me. It's a very dangerous position to be in because we don't have a lot of ammo.
It seeks the cleavers.
But I mean, see, it ate my ammo. Oh, it can't do that. Alright, we need his armor here, so. Alright, well. Need ammo and armor. Or get led by that guy.
Load up. Hold fast, brother. Our banner awaits our turn.
Alright, that was a little close.
Traitorous scout! It seeks to cleave us!
I fucking hate this map, so oh, now we get an extremist, great.
Let us crush his helmet like
I should not have blocked. Got roasted. When you increase your window there, you get cooked by the boss. I didn't think it was gonna work behind that pillar as any pillar on that map. If you ever put up your shield, you'll get cooked by the dragon as well. Yep, you put up your shield and you get cooked behind the pillar because your hitbox gets bigger. That was foul. That's why I fucking hate playing Bulwark in that finale area. I mean, it's good for, like, actually getting the objectives, but if you ever accidentally put up your shield for a split second, you just get hellraked. On any of those pillars. I wasn't 100% sure if it worked on the one over there, but it definitely does. The triple Beyblade motherfuckers spawn, ruined so many tries. I don't think the triple Beyblades are too bad. Let me say PTS end of January? Yes. Hooked by the Helldrake. Wonderful. That is true. What is up, Hayes? We'll be doing that. We'll certainly be doing that. That's so fucking annoying. Alright, guys, we're gonna run that one back. If we just escort people to the end, that'd be nice. That would be nice. I didn't know the shield wrecks you from the Helldrake fire. Yeah, if you put up your shield for any reason behind those pillars, your hitbox gets bigger and you just get roasted by the boss. That's just how it goes. Does that mean the patch is potentially in February or at least super early March? It can definitely be invite code. I mean, we're just playing the same people because they still need it done. We just need to make sure they're actually alive. Jabroni Pepperoni, if you mind swapping your Power Axe perk. How many hours you played Space Marine 2? Like 4,000. But yeah, the patch is probably gonna come late February or early March. I mean, we look at like historical precedent. The patches always come out after. The patches always come out like a month after. That's how it almost always goes. Yeah, we had to wait near 4 weeks last time, right? Yeah, it was like 4 weeks. Well, it was like a little over a month because October 24th, 2025 is when the original one came out. And then we got on the 25th. So it was like it was almost exactly a month. What's wrong with his axe perk? Well, the overcharge on the axe will actually deal friendly fire damage to you on this modifier. What are your go-to classes / builds to carry or wreck a hard challenge? I mean, just Power Fist and Conviction is still within, like, you just AFK half the content in the game. Only in death does duty end. True. Half of this is just escorting people to the end of the mission, though. I just hate the Helldrake. It's just boring boss fight. Does Assault Ascension do friendly fire? It can, yes. Or used to. I don't know if it does anymore. Don't know if it does anymore. It definitely did before. The content is limited. I only played 200 hours. There's nothing to do. No grinding at all. If you're 200 hours in this game, you probably don't have everything unlocked yet. You might. If you went one by one through everything. I've been running tact at 2 times plasma for this one for carries. I can one phase the boss solo. That way I don't have to stress about getting people there with me. That is true. It is annoying, but I also like to read my chat, so getting nuked as tac can happen a lot. Go to the Bulwark class. I mean, Bulwark class is just probably the strongest in the game overall right now. I think some things are better at other stuff. What's the best survivability build other than Bulwark? I mean, probably just Unmastial with the, well, the best survivability, if you're good, or if you know the ground pound works. Lies. Assault best class and you know it. I don't think Assault's the best class in Space Marine 2 for. I mean, if you just think about, unless outside of Siege. In Siege mode, maybe. Definitely not overall. Definitely not the overall best class, because you can kind of just walk. Hard strats. Hashtag assault propaganda. The propaganda is undeniable. Assault's Assault's a class that scales up tremendously in Siege mode because you just have you Zealous Blow. I mean, you just get more triggers off of that. All right, this guy's not going to join. I will unfortunately have to kick him, and then we can get somebody else in. All right, somebody else to take in. Whoever wants it in. God, I love learning how to properly play this game. Though we all. It's finally coming out. Who pinned that? Don't unpin my comment, Raynar. I'm taking your moder. You had the 1 week of moderation. You little bastard. Do not pin the comments. This is an abuse of your. This was a gifted power because you said a funny thing one time. How dare you unpin? Huh? I didn't? It says pinned by Raynar. It really tells me that you pinned it. Hold on. Wait, I actually delete the message? I didn't mean to delete the message. Oops. I delete the message of lies. I deleted the assault propaganda. Fuck. I deleted Hayes' message about assault propaganda, dude. We have to suppress the truth. Counter propaganda, dude. The PTS. Oh, I was replying to Norman. I might have misclicked. Okay, that's okay. You're weak of supremacy as a moderators, and it actually gave you a moderator status as a joke. Don't forget. You said a funny thing one time. Alright, let's see. I almost typed in FTG caught lacking and pinned that as a comment. Just so I don't have to answer the question every time. PTS confirmed for end of January. What did he say? He just said lies. Oh, what did he say? I don't remember. But it was funny enough that I was like, your gift is moderation for a week.
The Thousand Suns erected a warp beacon on Imperium. It is called... Sever the Heretics portal and cut them
All your
off
work
from
crushed to dust, a true Osborne.
Success will decide whether this is a war of days or months. See it done.
I'm already addicted to the Soul. I played for one game and immediately found my new favorite. He's pretty fun. I hope they actually like do some. I hope TechMarine's fun. Probably will be. Here's your code. I'm gonna join off. Are you helping out somebody? Or somebody to help you out? This question. Repent for tomorrow you die. All right, let's grab this guy. Damn animation cancel while fighting. I hope they give Assault an animation cancel on the jump pack. You know, it's fine. It's one of the only 2 scenarios in the entire game where your increased expunger of life is guy's name. Okay. Power Axe guarantees you stagger an enemy. The gray strength comes from with his shit moveset. I mean, I think the Power Axe is a great moveset. I don't think it's bad at all. That's one of the best overhead strikes in the game. More frisbee chickens? True. Are you gonna reserve a slot? I don't know if we'll be doing this one again after. I just find this mission very boring. I take a heroic bolt sniper. Actually a pretty good weapon versus Rubric Marines. They should give Assault a double dodge that uses a jump pack and triggers when jump pack uses X perk. That would be pretty neat. I saw a guy say that in Dark Tide, we're the equivalent of a cultist. You run through to kill in Space Marine 2. I can never feel strong in that game since. I mean, you're definitely stronger than a cultist because you run through cultists in that game too. You also run through a lot more than a cultist. You barrel through Beasts of Nurgle sometimes, and you also barrel through, what do you call them?
Advance on our objectives.
Poxwalkers and Ogrins.
Objective on the other side.
The Chaos Spawn boss from Dark Tide is what you fight in Horus and Space Marine 2. Well, the Chaos Spawn in that game is a lot bigger than the ones in this game. That's a truly chatted up one.
Is blocked.
Beast of Nurgles just want a hug? Yeah. It's super fun. I can't think dude, I hate getting roasted by the health break when you put a shield in this. Super fun. But at that point, your only option is drop your shield and get shot in the face or die. Ogryn are physically stronger than the Firstborn, if not Primarchs. Without armor, maybe. And it really depends. It really depends on the Firstborn. I like the idea that Salk can have a double dodge that works without using the jump pad charge but activates when the jump pack's used perk. I mean, I think it's just give an animation cancel on that. Can we get a 440k of Nash or Corn as a Chaos God to fight? We cooked Nurgle plenty, and now Zinj, we need new factions to fight. I definitely agree we need new factions to fight. Dude, this weekly fucking sucks. I know the next one's gonna be Ballistic Engine. I definitely got shot in my ass. Those rejects are some of the strongest baseline humans out there. A Havoc Squad can totally survive at level 1 Space Marine 2 missions. Yeah, Havoc Squad, I mean, Ogrins are pretty, like, a squad of 4 Ogrins is probably not beating... No, that's horseshit. Actually, that's total horseshit. What did you say? You say a squad of Havoc guys is beating it? Absolutely not. There's no way, dude. They get cooked. Rubric Marines? A Tyranid Warrior? Dude, Tyranid Warriors can comfortably 1v1 a Primaris. Like, what are we talking about? Or, like, maybe, like, a couple of them can cook a Primaris pretty... If anything, we're too strong in this game. I was going to do a video about this with Paul and Cal. We were going to talk about if Space Marines are too strong in this game, because they definitely are. They are way too strong for what they should be. Even a Primaris squad is not beating like triple Carnifexes ever. Double Carnifex in a mission? They would survive, bro. They are strong as fuck. Dude, Tyranid Warriors can chop through a Firstborn pretty easily. Like they're an equivalent unit on the tabletop. Like they are very strong. There's no fucking way a veteran guardsman and an Ogryn plus a Zealot, maybe the Psyker, because Psykers are pretty strong. That's about it, though. I mean, 3 Space Marines taking down a Hellbrute. I mean, come on. Dreadnoughts are the embodiment of strength and firepower. Hellbrutes especially. Are the Space Marine 2 warriors comparable to the Custodes? Custodes would kill more than this. Custodes are said to be, outside of Psycher bullshit, it's pretty hard to kill Custodes. Nick Paido, thank you for the 5 tier 1 subs. What is up, Nick Paido? And welcome back. Yeah, Custodes are nuts. Custodes are meant to make it so it is said that an Adeptus Custodes is to make resistance seem futile. That's their purpose. Like, the difference between a Custodes is like the difference between a Primarch. Honestly, no, let's put it this way. The Custodes is closer to a Primarch in 1v1 combat than a Space Marine is to a Custodes. That's true. Is that a good way to put it? Yo, is MC Paydobra? What are we talking about? Oh, I should give that to my boy. You got cooked. Custodes are also in literally speed blitzing. I wouldn't be even surprised if you'd be able to see Custodes at full speed. True. Some of the top Custodes would spar regularly with the Primarchs. Constantine Valdor would sometimes win. Yeah, it's like, guys, Custodes are cracked. Like, compared to an Astartes, Custodes are just the guys. And really, the fact that they ever lose to anything remotely comparable to what an Astartes can do is more so just a failure in their properly presented power level than anything else. Because they should never be losing to these guys. Maybe I should take a tactical. Maybe he's right. The tactical can is kind of nuke. You're kind of like in nuke territory sometimes, but honestly, if you give a shit, we can just shoot them in platform. But McPider, did you hear the TECHMARINE's coming? Well, I'm sure you read the pin comment, but TECHMARINE is coming for end of January. No intimidating aura? Nah, you only need it. I'm more so just building for the finale. It's just way easier with conviction because there's a lot of just like damage that just are forced to take because of the What is going on? Where the fuck are my teammates? Let's find that all myself. There you go. Alright, what the fuck was I doing down here?
Ready to deploy.
Will there be a balance patch alongside the TECHMARINE? Almost certainly. How different the balance will actually be, who knows, but... Isn't it the Custodes' weakness is that they are solo warriors and they can't fight in group fights? No, they just bring a Sister of Silence. They're not really solo warriors at all.
Interred remains slumber in peaceful rest.
In fact, they did, like, personally go together to go hold the line against Chaos and Demon Portal. That's pretty intense. That's not an easy thing to do. Certainly not. Okay. What are we doing next? You heard the devs are gonna rework TAC? Where the fuck did you hear that? I think Auspex is getting a nerf. When did they say that? That's funny because tactical is probably like one of the most well-designed classes in this entire game in terms of like. In terms of like you're a glass cannon support that has a ability with a very long cooldown. Me when I spread misinformation on the internet, yeah. Let me look up on the official Discord. They said literally anything about that because I don't think that's true at all. Unless they said it in like the past day, I've never seen them say they were doing that. I don't think tactical is a nerf at all. Like maybe Auspex does a lot of damage, like, but that's a coordination thing more than anything. Like alone, you have to build very precisely for that. Yeah, they're probably gonna nerf the block fist. They've mentioned that already. That team's gonna fix the power fist in a later patch. Hopefully the fix won't launch in the next patch. Did they say they were going to fix it, or are you talking about the one time that they mentioned the block power fist? And the block fist is so balanced. Oh yeah, it's totally balanced. You just like one-shot everything. It's crazy. See, I see a lot of people complain about the block fist in this game in general. They complain about the block fist all day long, and they're like, or I should say, they complain about the idea of a nerf to the block fist, but half of them also don't even know how the fuck power fist works. They just hear it's getting nerfed and they get mad. But they don't even know there's like a range portion to the weapon.
I have had my fill of this crate.
What's the ultimate best class and build for solo? Well, if we're talking the ultimate best, there's no like ultimate best, because in siege mode the best class is assault right now. But for normal modes, it is Bulwark for solo. Yeah, and like in operations and hard strat, it is just this class. Assault is still very good though. Definitely an 8 S tier class right now for all. I mean S tier siege undeniably, but. Let me give my guys. They don't even have HP. I would like to think attack is a glass cannon. I mean, he is. He's got no damage reduction perks. Absolutely none.
Helldrake on the field! The Helldrake wants to hunt. Now it taunts us.
What do we got?
Balefire can penetrate Ceremite fragments. Avoid it. It is on an attack vector. Get clear of the fire.
Do I have to really see players with block fist in my game? Probably because honestly, the block fist is a very powerful weapon, but it is harder to. It does have a learning curve. Like it just does. It is not like it doesn't just auto win the game for you. It does once you know how to use it, but like. All right, well, I want to give this guy the healing. There's nothing to take advantage of there, but better than 0 HP. How many more weekly strats are you running, Big Dog? None after this. Because this mission can suck my ass, as they say. And I've already ran this weekly like 40 times this week, so I'm good. Oh, thanks. Also, doing the Helldrake by yourself and your teammates are dead before you get there every time is very fucking annoying, and that's just what happens when people need help. I know what I signed up for, but it is very annoying. And there's at least like an 80% chance my teammates are dead before I even get to the end. Every time people join. So, yes. I'm not doing it again after this, is the point. I would say at least like 70% of the missions we've done this week, somebody has died in it before we got into the... They died at this bridge portion. Before we get to the Eldrake. The fact that the block fist forces you to trade with good pace is enough in my opinion. If the hammer had the same tempo for trades, it just doesn't, so you're stuck a lot when using it. I mean, the hammer is better on assault. It's really good in assault and siege mode, but like everywhere else, I mean, it's still good. Operations has way more viable builds in it. This is why it's a way more played mode, but... I think that's a compliment we didn't full die. That is true. Okay. Over here. Guess it's a bridge too far. Alright, take the Sims. Take the Sims, guys. Yeah, alright, Jabroni, go grab that, and then we're gonna grab things up here. As long as I get into the hell route, my life is easy. The only way we die on the hell route here anyways is just via firebombing from Helldrake by accidentally putting up her shield anyways, but it does take forever. Getting cooked by the Helldrake when you put your shield up does suck ass. Alright, you need to use your HP. Oh, we didn't use the Sim. Oh, I guess I use it later.
Withstand the heat and keep moving.
Now, running people through this mission after multiple days of it does become tilting, so I will not be doing it again. Vanguard's a faster walking animation, so he walks faster. Did we even get Red Viper in here? I think he went to bed. He said it was midnight. Alright, just didn't give me a gun strike on it for whatever reason. Has your opinion changed on the Xenophase blade? I've been seeing it using it a lot lately. It's growing on me. I mean, it's a balanced weapon. It's good. Just not as good as the block. Block just gives you too much in this game. That's the bigger issue.
Hold fast, brothers. Take shelter and hold tight until clear.
Oh, I almost rolled out of that. That was awkward.
Rally at coordinates.
I really feel like the Xenophase is good. It's just block, block, and block. Block weapons are block weapons. Mr. Guardsman, be mindful of your Vanguard team perk. Sniper needs the Extremis heals. Well, I mean, not even remotely close to where we were at, first of all. Let's take that Sim. Which do you prefer, Xenophase or Power Fist? Well, Xenophase isn't even remotely close to as good as the Power Fist, so... Power Fist in terms of viability. Not viability, but in terms of, like, performance, it's just better. Power Sword's kind of an underpowered weapon right now compared to Power Axe and Fist. And even the Chainsword, really. I don't know, man. I just find it contradicting the Psyker and Vanguard are just as fast-based as the heaviest Bulwark. I know Vanguard's grapple, whatever it is. Well, Bulwark has a fucking shield rush, too.
Annex location.
Alright, well he is a level 25, so I put this down for him. He should just queue and instantly. Or not. Sure, can I join you after you're done the ops you're in? I'm not doing another one after this for the weekly. I will not be doing that. Is there even a fire attack here coming? I'm sure there is not. Power sword kills warriors in 2 rakes and some change. I don't know, man. It takes forever to kill a warrior with the power axe unless you're getting parried. I mean, not really. You also get parried all the time in this game. Power axe also works the best with the shield bash build. Well, if we're talking about like what's a better weapon, the Xenophase blade or the power sword versus the power fist, or I mean the power axe, not a question. It's just a power axe. Power axe is just better. Block axe is nuts. Are you talking about like the fencing versions? But like I don't even consider. I mean, even the fencing's better than the gunstrike.
Look, a sign appears upon
You must be talking about the block version. It would make sense if you weren't.
Praise be to the Omnissiah. Interact with corresponding sigil to perform cleanse.
That team has those. A current game mechanism allows Block Fist to deal huge damage. If they change that for the CHP recovery, Block Fist, I suppose, cannot deal the same damage as it is now. Well, it's more of a CHP recovery thing than anything. It's more of an execute tool. It would have nothing to do with CHP recovery. They have talked about it before. Best block weapon other than the fist? Yeah, it is the Power Axe or the Thunderhammer.
The Helldrake will die to defend the warp beacon. Choose your shots.
Block Power Sword kills a warrior faster than the Block Axe unless you're getting power waves. Well, thank God you're always getting power waves in this game. Like, you're always fed executes versus Tyranids. I mean, that's like, I mean, parrying is 90% of the damage in this game anyways. Like, how often are you fighting a warrior that's like, that's not attacking you? Or giving you an opportunity to power wave. We also hit multiple guys with power wave. I mean, I'm just saying, Block Axe has gone way higher in the hardest content for a reason.
Strike now before it regains strength.
Pew. Super fun.
Dark times, the light of the Imperium radiates and cover, brothers.
Overhead is great too. Yeah, the overhead, the lunge attack on the Power Axe is also way better than the lunge attack on the Power Sword. Okay, let's go do this. And then we should just be done. See, that's where tactical's way better. Does Helldrake take Chris from headshots? No, it does not. Pretty sure it doesn't matter at all. Actually, maybe it does. I don't ever take a bolt weapon to this. At least I haven't in a very long time anyways.
I see the beacon has collapsed. Excellent work, squad.
From hell, the Drake. Ha 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 ha. Very funny, Joseph. Very comedy. Very fun. Can we either get a Thunderhammer Salamander skin or heroic version of the Salamander Hammer? It does burn damage on impact. Is that wacky enough? I would love a Salamander Thunderhammer, like a Fire Hammer. That'd be cool as fuck. But I doubt we're ever gonna get that. God, that weapon is generationally boring. What a boring ass op. Alright, guys. Thank you for playing. Sorry that we died the first time, Jabroni. Okay, what the fuck am I even doing now? Am I gonna go play? Heroic block Firehammer, you're in. Be pretty fun. Let's take a look-see, shall we? Yeah, advice for you as a sniper in the future. I'll be making a guide for every class at some point here to just get people started, and they can move into like more niche stuff if they want to. But yeah, we will do that. Oh, good. I failed it like 20 times before this run. That's okay, Jabroni. As long as we got it for you. How long have we been streaming? Let's see. Almost. I have no fucking idea. Almost 3 hours. Do you think Stormbolter would make a cool full auto secondary, would have low ammo but high rate of fire? It would definitely be cool. Also, how's your flag health thing work? Can I take advantage of it to recover? I mean, with this flag, when you place it down, you get all your CHP back, which means that all you have to do is shoot enemies to heal yourself. One of the best perks in the game for that reason. What do you think is the best build for heavy and ops? I mean, it's either heavy plasma. It's either heavy plasma or multi-melta. I have videos on that for this channel. If you look at the build compilation I made, you can find it there as well. We could do attack build here, real quick. Okay. Sanguinius armor attack. I'm hella new. I've only maxed out my sniper this one time. If you go on my YouTube channel, you can find a lot of guides for the game. Especially build guides. But we'll be making some more specific guides later. I do have an entire guide on melee weapons I just posted the other day. Expect many, many more guides like that to come out for the game. Let's see what we got. Custom after patterns. We could play a subjugator with the Sanguinius art. Looks so stupid. I've only been running fencing so far. What would you say is the #1 thing that someone should know for getting to block variants? What the enemy attack patterns are, because that is the crux of whether or not you're going to live with the weapon or not. But it is a weapon that just requires more from the player for that reason, because you don't get a stagger animation on the enemy. You just blow them up. Yeah, knowing when you can attack back's huge. Hugely important. The Statue of Liberty fit. Actually, that's a fucking hilarious way to put it. I should do that at some point. The Statue of Liberty armor. How do we even put that? Let's make it right now. Was there even a proper... Which one's the most Statue of Liberty green? Gotta be this one, right? I know we have to do it. To put on the back has to be the brazier. Like this. The Statue of Liberty fit. This is dumb as fuck, dude. It's so stupid. Where's the helmet? Statue of Liberty fit? Needs to be lighter. Is there a lighter one? I don't know if there is. Oh, Mantis Warrior green might actually be it. Goddamn, Mantis Warriors coming in clutch. With their shit tier looking green. How's that? The Statue of Liberty or Statue of Helios? Or is it this one? Oh, it's the War Boss green. Gotta be. Here it is. Okay. That's it. That's the Statue of Liberty. Terrible. Yeah, it is cursed, isn't it? Awful. This is a baby vomit green. Okay, guys. On that note, that's all from me for now. Let's see who the fuck is playing Space Marine 2 on Twitch. Who's playing the game? Let's do this. Alright guys, tomorrow I'll be on for some final weekly carries and stuff like that, and then that will be all for me. Hey FTG, who would win a fight, a 1v1, a named reject from Dark Tide versus an unarmed Helm Space Marine? Space Marine every single time. Okay. Take it easy guys. Thanks for watching. Longer stream tomorrow? Probably not. Probably do that in the weekly. We'll see. Take it easy guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.